Hello, everybody, and welcome to round two of the Division IV NCS CIF playoff action. It's football on a Saturday afternoon from Marin Catholic High School. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com. And to make this possible for our community to enjoy on MendocinoTV.com, we want to thank some local sponsors that are community-minded that made this possible to bring you this event here. Peoria Insurance, Canclini TV and Appliance, Jenny's Giant Burger, The Woods, Ranelagh Heating and Sheet Metal, The Homestyle Cafe, Sherwood Oaks, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, Roundman Smokehouse and Butcher Shop, Columbia's Market, Fort Bragg Furniture Mart, Purity Supermarket, Kaido Fisheries, Fort Bragg Transmission, Dunlap Roofing, and Bob Bruce Dentistry. Thanks to these sponsors, we're able to bring you this game on MendocinoTV.com and hopefully also on Channel 3. Now today, it's going to be a real matchup between Marin Catholic and Fort Bragg. It'll be an upset if Fort Bragg's able to win this game, but stick around. I'll have the pregame show up next and tell you a little bit about the teams and how they got here to this second round of this divisional playoff game on this Saturday afternoon. We're here in Kentfield, just north of San Francisco in Marin County, the site of the Marin Catholic Wildcats. And they are the number one seed in the North Coast Section Division IV CIF playoff football game here today. The Fort Bragg Timberwolves are seeded number 8. They got here by beating St. Helena last week in Fort Bragg. It was a close game. 27-21 was the final score. However, Marin Catholic had a bye. They also had a bye fairly late in the season, so they haven't been out on the field for a while. And are they rusty? Probably not. This is a very well-coached team. They've only lost one game this year, and that was the very first game of the season. They lost to Consumnes Oaks, a school in the Sacramento area. After that, they didn't lose, winning 9 straight games. And not only that, after they lost the opener 20-0, opponents only scored 52 points in 9 games. One of those was a pick six, 2 points on a safety. So their defense only allowed 44 points in 9 games. And if you do the math, they're averaging about 5 points a game, that's it, to the opponent's offense. Meanwhile, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves have an offensive powerhouse in the teams they've been playing so far this year. In the NCL1, they're undefeated. They've also played a couple of games outside of the division, taking on Del Norte. And this is the way the playoffs work. Marin Catholic seeded number 1. Last year, to give you an example, last year Marin Catholic got to the finals of the North Coast Section Division III, where they lost to Camp Alindo. Now Camp Alindo in Division III last year went 16-0. And Camp Alindo in the playoffs last year beat Santa Rosa perennial powerhouse by a score of 56-14. They beat Cardinal Newman 56-14, and they barely beat this Marin Catholic team in the finals last year by 6 points. So they're an outstanding team. After losing that game in the offseason, Marin Catholic petitioned the section to move down from Division III to Division IV. So they're now in Division IV. Cardinal Newman did the same thing. So this year, along with the smaller schools that are usually in the playoffs around this time of year, schools like Salesian, Justin Siena, and Fort Bragg, there's now Cardinal Newman and there's Marin Catholic. These are big schools. They have half again as many students. It's a private school, and they have an excellent football program here. As a matter of fact, you might have heard of some of the Marin Catholic Wildcats in their alumni past. One of them, his name is Dan Fouts. He's in the Hall of Fame for the NFL, was an outstanding quarterback at Oregon and also with the San Diego Chargers. Another is more recent. His name is Jared Goff. He's a starting quarterback for Cal, who's projected to go in the first round this year in the NFL playoffs next spring, and the NFL draft next year. So they've got a storied program here at Marin Catholic. And the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, the last time they won a section title was back in 2009. When they beat Justin Siena in the finals in the rain in Santa Rosa. Justin Siena has been eliminated from the playoffs. The Timberwolves also lost to St. Mary's a couple of years ago. They got in the playoffs. They went down and they played St. Mary's in Richmond, another good private school. They lost that game. St. Mary's also has been eliminated from the playoffs just last night. So it's a number 1 seed, Marin Catholic, against the number 8 seed, Fort Bragg. Of the smaller schools that are in Division III, Fort Bragg is clearly the cream of the crop. Of the larger schools or Division 4, of the larger schools in Division 4, the cream of the crop is clearly Marin Catholic. So this should be a real battle, but it's going to be tough. The Fort Bragg Timberwolves come into this game a complete underdog. It's basically, it's a Tonka toy taking on a tank. It's a pea shooter taking on a bazooka. It's Fort Bragg taking on Marin Catholic. It's a day game. Fort Bragg plays their games under the lights for the most part at Fort Bragg Timberwolves Stadium, and throughout the NCL1, most of the games are Friday nights under the lights, so it's a day game. That's a little different, but it's a beautiful field. It's artificial surface. The roster size of Marin Catholic is 55. They have 55 kids suited up. They have skilled position players. They have offensive and defensive players exclusively. A lot of guys go both ways, but a lot of guys don't at Marin Catholic here. So they've got an outstanding program. Timberwolves are going to have their hands full. And I tell you what, we're looking forward to a good game either way. The Timberwolves sometimes start off a little slow, and if they start off slow here today, it could be trouble because Marin Catholic is an offensive powerhouse, and they are so stingy on defense, it's going to be very difficult to move the football and to put any points on the board for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. So there you have it. That's your setup for today's game. Fort Bragg, Marin Catholic coming up here in just a bit. All right, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves warming up for the game, which should be starting here pretty soon. They're led by their quarterback, Kaylor Sullivan. Kaylor Sullivan, all he's done this year is throw for over 4,000 yards. He's the #1 quarterback in the state of California in terms of yards, in terms of completions. He's had a tremendous year, including a game a few weeks back against Willits where he threw 8 touchdown passes. He also rushed for 2 touchdowns. He threw for over 500 yards, and Fort Bragg won that game against a rival by a score of 81-0. The Timberwolves also feature a good running back. He'll be wearing number 34. That's Brett Giacomella. He's big, 6 feet, 213 pounds. He can run the ball like a tank. And the wide receivers that Kaylor Sullivan likes to throw to, among them are Lucas Triplett. He'll be wearing number 10. Lucas Triplett is right now ranked 7th in the state in terms of receiving yardage. Also, Tyler Baker, who'll be wearing number 9. Shane Giacconi, who'll be wearing number 5. Daniel Cook, who wears number 16. And Austin Trujillo, who wears number 24. Those are the featured receivers for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. They're coached by Roy Perkins. They are 11-0. They have not lost this year. But this is a big game for them. They're the number 8 seed taking on the number 1 seed. And again, it's like David versus Goliath here today. There's no question about it. Now for the Marin Catholic Wildcats, they're led by their quarterback, Darius James Peterson. He's a good one. He's very slick with the football in the backfield. They run a spread offense, so you're never sure who has the ball sometimes. He sometimes will be very good with his play action fakes. He's got a good arm. We watched him warm up. His featured receivers will be wearing number 2. That'll be Will Buckstaff. Look for him. Number 3, Kenneth Fitzgerald Evans. Number 4, Peter Armashevitz. Those are the featured receivers, along with number 9, Reese Osborne. Those are the tough players to watch out for. They also have a tight end and a wide receiver who won number 12, Peter Brown. He's also featured in their offense. Now, defensively, as I mentioned, Marin Catholic has averaged allowing only 5 points a game after the first loss of the season where they were beat 20-0. After that, teams had a lot of trouble scoring on them. They're led defensively by Sebastian Olver. You'll watch him. He'll be wearing number 11. Most of the interceptions this year, the leading interceptor on their defense is Mac Rosner. He'll be wearing number 10. Carl Savona wears number 22. He's an inside linebacker, and he is a fast, tough hitter. He's one of the top players on their defense. Jake Laugenschlager, he'll be wearing number 34, also very good on defense. They run a 4-3, 4-down lineman defensively, Marin Catholic does, but they shift it around a little bit and disguise it sometimes. Number 47, Nick Gernhardt, also one of their leading tacklers, along with number 49, Colin Martin, and number 57, Joe Elliott. So those are the skill position players. They're coached by Masi Moyed, and their defensive coordinator is Frank Peterson. This is a well-coached team. As I mentioned, 55 players suited up on the roster. They're deep, they're talented, and it's going to be a tough match for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves across the way. There are only 59 students in to Division 4, so actually they're almost a Division 5 team here, competing against a team that just went down this year to Division 4 from Division 3. So it's pretty close to having a Division 5 team taking on a Division 3 team in this matchup here today. So they just did the coin toss out there in the field. They're going to introduce the Fort Bragg Timberwolves here, and we'll go ahead and
the Timberwolves roster.
We'll go ahead and let the PA announcer introduce the Timberwolves, which travel well. There's a lot of Fort Bragg Timberwolves fans across the way.
Number 5, Shane Giaccani. Number 6, Jonathan Tamayo. Number 9, Tyler Baker. Number 10, Lucas Triplett. Number 11, Christian Flores. Number 12, Kaylor Sullivan. Number 16, Daniel Cook. Number 20, Wyatt Lawrison. Number 22, Cadu Whitlock. Number 24, Austin Trujillo. Number 26, Brad Giacomella. Number 31, Ty Griffiths. Number 34, Brett Giacomella. Number 35, Tristan Strickland. Number 40, Jasper Estes. Number 50, Ty Sutton. Number 51, Tristan Cooper. Number 56, Michael Cavender. Number 57, Matt Hotela. Number 59, Jason Cavender. Number 60, Darren Rexroad. Number 61, Miguel Lopez. Number 62, Justin Soleri. Number 63.
Okay, you ready to do the...
Number 64.
We're basically, I've done everything. I've done the pregame, so you can cut that out. So, are we on live?
Number 72, Miguel Perez. Number 74, Zach Silva.
All right, I understand now. We finally hooked up with Play On Sports. I'm Liddy Peters. I'll be your play-by-play announcer here. We had a little technical difficulty. Believe it or not, here we are in the land of Tex, and we had a little difficulty getting onto the internet. We are at Marin Catholic High School. It's a beautiful day. There's a little bit of a wind. If the wind has any bit of an effect on the game, it'll be moving right to left across your screen.
Number 5, Hunter Juarez.
Marin Catholic wearing their silver and black and white uniforms. Basically, their home uniforms are kind of a dark silver, almost a gun silver color. Timberwolves, of course, across the way wearing their purple and white. Their traveling jerseys are white with a purple numeral, and their gray pants and trim. The Timberwolves are coached by Roy Perkins. They are 11-0 coming into this game. They have not lost. They got here by winning their first-round game against the number 9 seed St. Helena last week at home in what turned out to be a pretty good game. 28-21 was the final score. The Timberwolves have won this section before in Division 4 back in 2009, but that was the last time they were able to win a Division 4 section. But they typically have a pretty good team. Last year, they were in the playoffs. They were beat by Moreau Catholic in the first round. By the way, Moreau Catholic is in the playoffs again this year, and they won last night. That's the team. The winner of this game is going to play, Moreau Catholic. They came up and they beat Fort Bragg pretty good at Timberwolves Stadium last year in the first round of the playoffs, but quarterback Kaylor Sullivan for the Timberwolves did not play in that game. He had a broken wrist. He got injured in the final regular season game of the season. And Lucas Triplett filled in at quarterback, who is their best and most talented receiver. So you lost your most talented receiver and your quarterback last year for the first round of the playoffs because your leading receiver played quarterback and your quarterback was in street clothes. So they would like to play Moreau Catholic again this year, believe me, but they have to get by Marin Catholic. Now for Marin Catholic, last year, they went all the way to the North Coast Section Division 3 championship game where they were defeated by Camp Olindo. Camp Olindo finished the season 16-0, and they just cruised through the playoffs, simply destroying teams until they got to the finals against this well-coached Marin Catholic Wildcat team. That game, the final last year in Division 3, was 27-21, and it was close. In fact, they were tied 14-14 at halftime before Camp Olindo scored 13 unanswered points in the third quarter. The Wildcats did score a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but it was too little too late. Again, the final last year in the finals of the North Coast Section Division 3 game, 27-21. Marin Catholic has had a little time off. They had a bye last week in the playoffs. They had a bye towards the end of the season, but they're rested and they're ready. And now let's get ready for our national anthem before today's game.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so
There you have it. And in this round 2 game, a nice gesture. Both teams going across field, meeting at midfield there, shaking hands before the game. That's always a good thing to do for sportsmanship, rather than just lining up and shaking hands after the game. Marin Catholic only lost once this year, their very first game of the season, to Consumnes Oaks out of the Sacramento area. They were blanked in that game 20-0. Since then, they've been unstoppable, undefeated, and their defense has put up a few zeros at the end of the games in their last 9 games after that first loss. The Timberwolves got it up around Coach Perkins across the way on the far sideline. A good crowd from Fort Bragg has traveled a long ways to get here. It is about a 3.5-hour drive, and we're nestled right in a beautiful little part here of Marin County, just north of Mount Tamalpais. And like I said, the weather should not be much of a factor here today for either of these teams, although it is a little bit of a wind blowing right to left. So the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, who won the toss and will receive the kickoff, will be going into what little wind there is here at the start of this game.
North Coast Section Championships. It allows us the
Sean McHugh is the kicker. He's a good one. Puts a lot of leg into it. Has had a good year. He's their punter as well on special teams. Deep to receive for the Timberwolves, Tyler Baker, wearing number 9, Shane Giacconi wearing number 5, and Jonathan Tamayo wearing number 6. They're the deep receivers as we get ready to kick this game off. They play 12-minute quarters in high school football. As I said, the winner of this game moves on. They'll take on Moreau Catholic in the next round of this NCS CIF Division IV football playoff action. Everybody's standing up across the way for Fort Bragg as we get ready to kick this thing off. Marin Catholic will kick it off. McHugh, that is, ready to kick it off. There's the kick, high end over end kick, deep. Baker takes it in his end zone and will stay there. So the Timberwolves will take it over on their own 20-yard line to start the game. 1st and 10, Fort Bragg. They run a no-huddle spread offense, usually with 2 men split to either side of the line of scrimmage, and 1 back with their quarterback, Kaylor Sullivan, leading passer in the state so far this year. Averaging over 300 yards a game passing. He's thrown 49 touchdown passes. He's got Lucas Triplett split out to the right. Hunter Juarez on him out here. Giacomella splits out to the left, and they come to start actually with 2 backs with Sullivan in the backfield. An unusual look for the Timberwolves. Looking to his left, caught by Giacomella. He breaks 1 tackle and is brought down after about a 9-yard pickup as the Timberwolves come right out and pick up about 9 yards, setting up 2nd down and 1, the ball at the 29-yard line, but Giacomella limps off, and he has had some problems with that left knee, and if he is hurt, that's trouble because he's a leading tackler for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, no huddle with 2 backs, Sullivan at shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to his left, throws hard, caught, 1st down, and driven out of bounds that time at about the 35-yard line. That's Tyler Baker. Across the way, Liam Kilpack, along with Nader African on the coverage. Timberwolves, like I said, no huddle, move up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Again, 2 backs in the backfield along with Sullivan, trying to protect their quarterback a little bit. Triplett splits out here to the right at the hash mark. They're on the far hash mark. 1st and 10, the ball at the 35-yard line. Just underway. Sullivan back to pass. Got a little time. Now he's getting some pressure. Now he gets away and throws a left-hand pass caught by Zach Silva, who picks up 3 yards. And that's the beauty of Kaylor Sullivan, such a resourceful quarterback, about to be sacked. Instead, threw it with his left hand. His right hand was wrapped up. It's a completed pass instead of a sack and a loss. It's about a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7, the ball at the 43-yard line. Usually just 1 back in the backfield, but Coach Roy Perkins knew that the Wildcats were going to put on the pass rush, try and stop Sullivan. And so he's got 2 backs back there with him now instead of the usual complementary of 1. 2nd down and about 7. Back to pass. Getting a rush, throws, left side, caught. Zach Silva makes a catch, picks up about 3 or 4 yards across the 40 to the 41-yard line where it'll be 3rd down. 3rd down at about 4. Just underway, 10-19 to go. 1st quarter, no score. This is the first possession. I'm Lindy Peters, your announcer here today in this 2nd round Division IV NCS football playoff game. With that no-huddle offense, you might see across the way the Timberwolves coaching staff holds up color-coded cards for quarterback Kaylor Sullivan. They take a look at their wristbands to see the formation. And again, two backs in the backfield, Strickland and Silva. And now a timeout, I believe, has been called. The Timberwolves taking a little bit too much time here on this third down play, call a timeout. We'll take a timeout. It's third down and about 3. They have to get across the 45-yard line to get a first down.
Sports medicine provider for its support of CIF North Coast Section student athletes. UCSF Benioff
The Marin
Children's Hospital coordinates medical coverage for these NCS championship events. For more information about the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Hospital Oakland and their free lecture series, please visit www.childrenshospitaloakland.org.
So with the timeout on the field, the Timberwolves and coach Roy Perkins out there on the far sideline getting their offensive strategy straight. This is a big third down play. And the Wildcat defense with their defensive coordinator Frank Peterson, who does an outstanding job, trots back out there for this big third down play. This time one man in the backfield, Tristan Strickland, along with quarterback Sullivan.
3rd and 3.
Two men split to the right, one man splits to the left for the Timberwolves formation. Sullivan looking to his left, looks, throws short, caught by Strickland. He's got a first down and gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So the Fort Bragg Timberwolves move the chains, getting 2 consecutive first downs and getting the ball up to the 46-yard line.
Kaylor Sullivan's pass complete to number 35, Tristan Strickland. First down.
So the Timberwolves move the chains with another first down. Silva in the backfield along with Tristan Strickland. Triplet split out to the left. It looks like Shane Giacconi is going to come in from the sideline and split out here to the right. Sullivan, who likes to throw deep, has not thrown the ball deep yet. Basically a short passing game. This time the give to Tristan Strickland, looking over the right side and bowls his way up forward for some positive yardage, but not much. Gets up to about the 47-yard line, so call it about a 1-yard pickup, setting up second down and 9. It looks like Brett Giacomella, the starting running back and the leading tackler for the Timberwolves, was injured on the first play, and he has not been back into the lineup, and that could be a huge loss for the underdog Timberwolves here. Giacconi splits out to the left. Lucas Triplett splits out here to the right. Sullivan with two backs with him out of the spread formation. He's back to pass. He's looking for Triplett up the right sideline. Here it comes, and he's got it. He makes the catch. Both feet ruled in bounds at the 30-yard line. The athletic Lucas Triplett, a fine basketball player, went up and made the catch, and sometimes that's all you need to do. Remember, he's the number 7 receiver in the state of California this year, and he just threw a sideline route and threw it up for grabs, and Triplett out-jumped Hunter Juarez that time to make the catch and reel it in, and it's a first down at the Marin Catholic 30-yard line. The first drive of the game, and the Timberwolves have controlled the football so far as they move the chains again. Triplett out to the right. Shane Giacconi out to the left. Two backs in the backfield with Sullivan. Sullivan takes a snap, drops, backs, looks, throws over the middle, caught. That's Baker, I believe, inside the 30, down to about the 24-yard line. Tyler Baker, who lined up at tight end, makes the catch inside the 25, about a 5-yard gain, and so far Tyler Baker, that is, who sometimes lines up in the slot, is lined up at tight end. Now he comes out in the slot. 2 men right, 2 men left. Kaylor Sullivan has not thrown an incompletion so far. Tristan Strickland in the backfield. He takes a snap, looks, throws. Underthrown that time, nearly picked off. Defended very nicely that time. That was Jake Laudenschlager. Laudenschlager, one of their defensive stalwarts, almost came up with the interception that time. Now it's 3rd down and 5 for the Timberwolves. Trujillo in the game, split out here to the right. Giacconi and Triplett split out to the left. Tristan Strickland in the backfield along with Kaylor Sullivan. Let's see if they put a little extra pressure. They go with a 4-man down lineman. Now it looks like they're going to throw pass coverage at the defensively. There's a pump fake and a throw. Going for Triplett in the corner. He jumps up. Juggling. Catch! Oh! Just dropped it at the last minute. Incomplete, setting up 4th down. A juggling attempt by Lucas Triplett, who almost made a miraculous catch there on the left side, but it's incomplete. And now will the Timberwolves go for it? They're at the 24-yard line. It looks like they're going to go for it here. First quarter action, no score, 7:38 to go. in this first quarter, as Fort Bragg has kept the ball for over 4 minutes in their first possession. Timberwolves have used one timeout already. They're having a little trouble getting the right formation here. Now they're down to 3 seconds. They're going to have to get the snap off, and they don't. Did the Timberwolves call a timeout? Yeah, they did. They got a timeout called before the delay of game, and the reason is that Coach Perkins looked out in near the end zone. The back judge is the man who lets the quarterback know how many seconds are left between plays, and he started counting off 3 seconds, and when he did, Coach Perkins realized there was no way they were going to get that play off, so he called a timeout. So it'll be 4th down at about 4 yards, or call it 5 yards for the Timberwolves. They got to get just inside the 21-yard line, but to play it safe, they have to get to the 20-yard line to get a first down. No score, first quarter. Beautiful day for football. Nice crowd here. The Timberwolves well represented across the way. And the Marin Catholic Wildcats, with a beautiful stadium here with that artificial surface, have packed this side of the field as well. So here we go, 4th down Timberwolves as they go for it here. And this is the first big play of this game. Trujillo splits out to the right. Along with him is Giacconi and Baker. Triplet out to the left. Hunter Juarez on him. It looks like single coverage. They're showing blitz, and Baker moved that time. Baker moved. It's too bad Triplet had inside position. It looked like on the slant route, but instead it'll be a 5-yard penalty now. It'll be 4th and 10. That's the first penalty of the game. That was pretty obvious, so Tyler Baker started a little early. It looked like they might have had success on that play. Let's see now if an adjustment is made defensively. Shane Giacconi gets in the slot on the left side along with Triplet, wide left. Kaylor Sullivan at quarterback on the near hash mark. Tristan Strickland in the backfield with him. Trujillo and Baker split out to the right out of that spread formation. There's the snap. Penalty flag is down. Sullivan takes off running, and he's going to be short of the first down, but there is a penalty flag on the far side, either an offside or possibly, but it looks like an offside on one of the teams because both side judges threw their flags. They're lined up on the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what the call is. It's going to be against the Timberwolves, so Kaylor Sullivan's 5-yard scramble falls short of the first down, and the Marin Catholic Wildcats take it over first down at their own 25-yard line. The Timberwolves did manage to take 4.5 minutes off the clock. They moved the football well on that first series, but a penalty helped slow them down. And now here come the Marin Catholic Wildcats with quarterback Darius James Peterson also running the spread. 3 men out to the right. Jack Hogenboom is split out there. 2 men slotted inside of him. 1 man split out left. 1 back in the backfield. Notice that spread on the offensive line. Peterson back to pass. Pump fake. Throws. No, pump fake again. Now he's going to carry the football, and he is hit and dropped by Tristan Cooper, or Ty Sutton that was. Sutton drove him back at about the line of scrimmage, or maybe he lost a few. Let's see where they spot that ball. About a 1-yard loss, 2nd down and 11. Call it a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. Clock continues to run. Now notice how their offensive line spreads out a little bit. The Wildcat, they don't have a tight formation. There's a give, first man through carrying the ball, and he is stopped immediately by the Timberwolves. Ball carrier was Nick Gernard. Gernard stopped. Stopped by Tristan Cooper. Tristan Cooper made the stop, and no huddle offense here for Marin Catholic as well. 3rd down at about 12 for the Wildcats. Darius James Peterson looks to the sideline for the play. Gernhardt remains in the backfield with him. Reese Osborne split out here to the left. 3 men split out to the right. On the far sideline will be Jack Hogenboom. Slotted inside of him, Armashevitz, and also Fitzgerald Evans, or Buckstaff that is. And now a timeout called by the Wildcats. We're in the first quarter. 6:17 to go, no score. This is the first possession for the Wildcats, and they have it at their own 23-yard line, 3rd down and 12. Thanks for joining us here as the Fort Bragg Timberwolves gather with Coach Roy Perkins across the way, and the Wildcats here on the near sideline around Coach Moyed.
Every great athlete deserves
A-
a great
A
meal.
big coaching
That's why
staff, by the way,
Subway
for Marin
restaurants
Catholic.
offer a wide variety of
Along with a
dinner-forty
55-man
choices
roster, they have
made just the way
a
you
big
want.
coaching staff,
Any side and any drink, and you're ready to
linebacker
fuel
coach,
up
defensive
fast with a
back
delicious
coach,
meal today.
defensive coordinator,
Subway,
of course,
where
their head
winners
coach, offensive coordinator. They're just a great program, and that's why they're the #1 seed. They are
This event is
a
conducted
perennially
under the
good
authority of
football
North
team.
Coast Section
And as I was
CIF.
saying in the
All
pregame
rights
show,
reserved.
quarterback Dan Fouts, now in the NFL Hall of Fame, played for Marin Catholic. The current starting quarterback for the California Golden Bears, Jarrett Goff, played just a few years ago, and in fact took this team to a section championship back then. All right, here we go. Gernhardt in the backfield along with Darius Peterson. He rolls to his right. He's got some time. He throws. The pass is caught. First down by Jack Hogenboom. Up to the 40 or 38-yard line. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Single coverage out there that time. Now the Wildcats will line up on the far hash. First down. Move the chains on a big 3rd down play. And timeout as, I guess, some camera people run across the field. Or maybe one of the players for the other team is over there hurt. I'm not sure. The officials have stopped action for a moment here. Or maybe one of the sideline people was hit that time when that play went out of bounds. The official right now is explaining where the team should be standing across that far sideline. That's the delay. 1st and 10 Wildcats. They'll have the ball at their own 38-yard line. There's a give to Gernhardt, and he's wrestled down by Zach Silva. He almost got away, but Gernhardt with about a 7-yard pickup up to about the 45-yard line. As I said, Darius James Peterson pretty slick with that football. Sometimes you're not sure if he's keeping it or giving it or going to throw. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down now and about 3. Darius Peterson takes the snap, rolls this way, throws to a man wide open. That's Reese Osborne, and he is tripped up by Austin Trujillo, but not before he gets across midfield all the way down to the Fort Bragg 46-yard line, 1st and 10. So now this Wildcat offense starting to roll a little bit. Osborne splits out here to the left. Armeshewicz is slotted inside of him out of the typical spread formation now with one back behind Peterson. Bad snap. He picks it up off the ground nicely. Now he's going to take off running. He shows that speed. Hodala brings him down short of the 1st down, but a nice 8-yard pickup that time after a bad snap. Darius James Peterson
tackled by Matt Hodala.
Making the 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 1. The ball down now to the Timberwolves 32-yard line. Peterson, fake pass to Osborne, who makes a catch and is hit hard by Trujillo right at the 1st down marker. I think he's got it at about the 30-yard line. He does. It's 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Timberwolves 30-yard line. 4:56 to go. 1st quarter, no score, but now the Wildcats are driving. The Timberwolves drove it down to the 25-yard line before they were stopped. Peterson out of the spread, looking to his left, throws, caught. As Trujillo makes the tackle out of bounds, Reese Osborne makes the catch. A nice back shoulder throw. Trujillo actually had good coverage, but a beautiful back shoulder throw, but there's a penalty flag on the field. Illegal man downfield is the call against the...
Illegal man downfield is the call.
And of course, if you're passing the ball, your linemen have to stay within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And so that's a 5-yard penalty, nullifying the play and setting up 1st and 15 at the 35. So both teams, once they got down close to the 30-yard line, suffered penalties. It hurt the Timberwolves. Let's see if it hurts the Wildcats. Man comes in motion. That's Fitzgerald Evans. They throw to him out there sprinting. He's got the catch. And Tristan Strickland. Bulls is out of bounds, but a nice pickup of about 10 yards to about the 25-yard line, setting up 2nd down and 5. Clock stops as he goes out of bounds. 4:31 to go, 1st quarter. Out of that spread, no huddle. 3 men split left. 1 man splits to the right. Peterson gives. Gernhardt right up the middle. It's got a 1st down and more. A penalty flag comes flying in late where the tackle is made. That sometimes indicates a face mask or some sort of call like that, but let's see.
Tackled by Sutton, flag on the play.
Ty Sutton made the stop. Personal foul against the Timberwolves. So something happened in that tackle. Maybe they went too high and hit him too high. It wasn't an actual face mask call, but the result is going to be half the distance of the goal penalty and bring the Wildcats down inside the 10 to the Timberwolves 7-yard line. The clock didn't even run on that play. There's still 4:31 left. I don't know how the clock could not have started after that, but it didn't. There were 4:31 to go before that play, and there's 4:31 to go after the play. Now they run the clock. So there's James Peterson in the shotgun. 3 men left, 1 man to the right, out of the spread formation. Takes a snap, gives to Gernhardt, and he's got some tough yardage, still on his feet inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line or 3-yard line where they'll spot it. Second down. Second and goal. Neither team with a huddle, so this game's moving right along in terms of getting as many offensive plays as possible in a first quarter. Knocking on the door, the Wildcats. Gernhardt in the backfield along with Peterson. He fakes and keeps it himself up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Wildcats. As Marin Catholic scores first with 3:42 to go in the first quarter and take a 6-0 lead. That time, Darius James Peterson with a fake handoff to Gernhardt and kept it himself. Kind of like the read option, but he didn't. He actually took it right up the middle, so he didn't really focus on the outside linebacker like you do on the read option, but he went right up the middle for the score. On now for the extra point is McHugh. The kick is up, plenty of distance, and it's good. So it's 7-0. Marin Catholic has the lead. Marin Catholic, their first possession, took the ball about 75 yards on that drive, culminating with a 2-yard touchdown run by quarterback Darius James Peterson. And on the extra point, and they've got a 7-0 lead. Well, the Timberwolves, even though they're undefeated this year, have been behind before. Maybe not to a team with the caliber of personnel that the Wildcats have, but they've trailed in games before. They trailed to Lower Lake earlier this year. They trailed to Kelseyville earlier this year, and both games ended up blowouts. So they've been behind before, even though they're undefeated. Back to receive, Tyler Baker. Along with him is Shane Giacconi. As McGough gets ready to kick it off. Officials waiting to make sure everybody's ready here. 3:42 to go first quarter. 7-0 now, Marin Catholic. As they line up for the kickoff.
Macchio kicking to Giacconi and Baker.
Keogh's kick, high end over end kick, and the whistle blows. I think Marin Catholic may have been offsides. Boy, what a leg, as Keogh has been putting it in the end zone on his 2 kickoffs. But this one will come back, and I believe offsides against the Wildcats is a call, and he'll be kicking it off for the 35, which probably won't affect him too much. Now, remember, I mentioned if there is a bit of a breeze, it's blowing at Marin Catholic's back here in this first quarter. Not much, but certainly a kickoff might get affected and get a little more distance, or a punt. So the Wildcats get ready to kick it off again. Sean McKeo, 6'3", 175, the kicker for the Wildcats. There's the kick, high end over end. Baker's going to take it at about the 7-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Cuts back inside at the 25. A penalty flag goes down as he brings it across the 31, but that'll probably be a blocking in the back call against the Timberwolves, which will put them back about their own 20-yard line. No, it's personal foul against Marin Catholic. That's unusual when the kicking team has a penalty assessed against them, but that's the case here.
Personal foul, the call against Marin Catholic.
So obviously the Timberwolves will take that penalty. trailing 7-0. So personal foul in high school is a 15-yard penalty. It'll bring it all the way out to the 46-yard line where Fort Bragg has it 1st and 10. Triplett split out to the left. Daniel Cook in the game now, splitting out here to the right. Baker and Giacconi also out here to the right. Strickland in the backfield with Kaylor Sullivan out of that spread. Now Giacconi goes in motion across the formation to the left. Sullivan takes the snap, throws for Giacconi. He's got the catch at the 40-yard line, 1st down to about the 39-yard line. And once again, Kaylor Sullivan is hot right now. He has not thrown an incompletion. 14-yard pickup, 1st down for the Timberwolves across midfield into Wildcat territory at the 40-yard line. On the far sideline, 1st and 10. Sullivan with Strickland in the backfield with him. 2 men to the right, 2 men to the left. Your prototype spread formation. Now Baker goes in motion across the formation. Baker looking that way up the left sideline. Gets away from 1 man. Throws. Pass is caught. Dropped by Triplett. Unable to hang on. That would have been a 1st down inside the 30. But the Timberwolves can't afford to make any kind of mistakes like that. It'll be 2nd down and 10. They just can't afford to drop passes against this great Marin Catholic defense. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Jasper Estes checks in for a moment. Now he goes back to the sideline, and Baker and Giacconi in the lineup with Cook split out here to the right. Triplett also out there on the left side of the formation. Strickland in the backfield along with Sullivan. Safeties for the Wildcats at about their own 30-yard line. Sullivan back to pass. Got a little time this time. Rolling to his left. Now he's getting pressure, and he runs out of bounds. But he picked up about 4 yards, I think. Depends where they spot the ball, where he went out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down now for the Timberwolves. We're in the 1st quarter. 3 minutes to go. Marin Catholic leading 7-0. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Timberwolves.
4 yards on the play.
Sullivan able to get away from the pressure that time and get some positive yardage. This time Triplett splitting out here on the slot on the right. Now he goes to the outside. Cook goes inside of him. Strickland in the backfield along with Sullivan. Giacconi split out to the left. Sullivan rolling to his right. Here comes the pressure. Pass is caught by Triplett, and he gets a 1st down inside the 25-yard line.
By number 10, Lucas Triplett. Stopped by Juarez.
So 1st down Timberwolves to the 25, and the Marin Catholic defense getting a good look at the number 1 rated quarterback in the state of California right now.
1st down.
Sullivan with a beautiful pass rolling. He was getting some pressure that time. In fact, coming on him fast was Joe Elliott, but unable to catch him before he delivered that football. So it's 1st down, Fort Bragg. Sullivan looking to his right. Pump fake. Now he looks, throws, man caught. That's Triplett inside the 20. Breaks a tackle, spins, and brought down at about the 17.
Pass to Lucas Triplett.
About a 7 or 8 yard pickup, setting down 2nd down. 1st quarter, 2:13 to go here. Fort Bragg trailing 7-0 with the football now in the red zone.
Gain of 7 yards.
Triplett out to the left, Giacconi with him in the slot. Cook and Baker split out to the right as Sullivan is in the backfield with Tristan Strickland. Brett Giacomella, their number 1 running back, was injured on the first play and has not returned. Sullivan takes a snap, looking to his left. Throws a little swing pass to Strickland. Nice catch, but he is going to be ridden down and dropped by Elliott, or I'm sorry, that was Nick Gernhardt who made the stop. Short of the 1st down. And Strickland limping back to the huddle a little bit. They've already lost Giacomella to apparent knee injury. Like I said, I have not seen him back in the lineup, so it's going to be another big 3rd down play for the Timberwolves at about the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 5. Triplett splits out to the right. Baker slotted inside of him. Looking this way is Sullivan. Fakes. Now he looks like he's going to run. He takes off and runs. Breaks a tackle and dives forward close to the 1st down. Good presence of mind that time by Sullivan. He knew where the 1st down was, and he dove forward, and I think he got it. He did. 1st down Timberwolves at the 14-yard line.
1st down Timberwolves.
So Kaylor Sullivan putting on a show here in this 1st quarter for the Timberwolves. 1:30 to go. Trailing 7-0. But knocking on the door now as they get it inside the 20 down to about the 14-yard line. 1st down. Triplett split out to the right. Baker split out to the left. Good job by the offensive line so far. The Timberwolves holding off the pass rush from the Wildcats. Justin Solari, center, snaps the ball back. Sullivan rolling right this time. Cuts inside one man. Pump fake. Cuts inside another. Still on his feet. Bulls his way down inside the 5-yard line. Another first down and goal. I think, and a penalty flag goes flying up. Might be against, well, we'll see. That might be a late hit. Sullivan was down, and it looked like one more guy jumped on, but I'm not official, so let's wait and see what the call is. Personal foul against the Wildcats. You got it. A late hit. Half the distance to the goal, and Sullivan is very frustrating to deal with when you're on defense. He's such a good passer, and when he takes off running, he's elusive. He's not fast. He's not that big, but he's shifty, and he's hard to tackle and hard to get a good lick on, and that time that lick came in a little late. Personal foul, first and goal for the Timberwolves at the 2-yard line, trailing 7-0. This is where they really miss big Brett Giacomella, who has not returned. They're working on him across the sideline. We'll see if they can get him ready to get back out on the field. Strickland has taken his place pretty much in the backfield. This time it looks like there's an empty backfield for Sullivan. Triplet split out to the left. 3 men split out to the right. Empty backfield for Kaylor Sullivan out of the spread. First and goal at the 2. Sullivan looking for Triplet. Pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be second and goal. It looked like Triplet got inside the coverage that time, and good defensive play. Laugenschlager knocked that ball down, or that might have been a touchdown. Second and goal now. Clock stops. 38 seconds to go, first quarter. I'm Lindy Peters here for the action in today's game, Division 4 NCS Round 2 playoff game here at Marin Catholic. Second and goal for the Timberwolves. Sullivan gives to Strickland. He follows his blocking right up the middle, and I'm not sure where they're going to spot it, but it's close to the goal line. I don't think he got in. It's going to set up third and goal inside the 1-yard line. They're about a foot away. This is where I like to see an offense put that quarterback right up on center and just do a quick snap and a sneak and dive over one side or another. He's got Tristan Cooper at guard, and he's over center.
1-2.
And that's it. They try the sneak, and he dives forward, and he may have been stopped short of the goal line. There's no touchdown signal yet. So he didn't get there. They did try the sneak. Like I said, this is where you really miss Brett Giacomella. Big number 34, 6 foot, 213 time. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, the Wildcats from Marin Catholic 7, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves nothing. When we come back, it's third down and goal at the 1-foot-yard line. Well, thanks for joining us here. I hope you're enjoying our broadcast here today. Again, the winner of this game will move on to play Moreau Catholic. And Moreau Catholic was a big winner last night. So, even though Marin Catholic seeded number 1, if they do win this game, they're going to get tested each step of the way. And also down in the brackets, lurking is Cardinal Newman. They're also now a Division 4 team. So I think the reason Marin Catholic's number 1 and Cardinal Newman ranked number 2 in the playoff seeds is obviously these are the 2 best teams on paper, but that's why you play the game. But if everything played out the way it is designed in terms of the seeding, the final in the section this year will be between Cardinal Newman and Marin Catholic. But the Timberwolves would like to be a spoiler. And right now they've got a big play, third and goal at the 1-foot-yard line. Triplet split out to the left. Strickland in the backfield. Or I'm sorry, it's fourth down and goal. Fourth and goal. Sullivan looks, throws for Triplet. He can't get there. Incomplete. A little overthrown that time. Triplet on the fade pattern. And that's the first incomplete pass, other than a drop pass, but an actual incompletion for Kaylor Sullivan. And it couldn't have come at a better time for the defense for Marin Catholic. They put the ball in the air, the ball inside the 1 yard line, but Marin Catholic has the size along their defensive line, and the Timberwolves felt probably they couldn't sneak it in. So now, the Wildcat offense will have the football leading 7-0, just underway. 4 seconds elapsed here in the second quarter. And Fort Bragg has put up some yardage. They haven't put any points on the board, but they moved the ball down to the 25, their first possession, moved it all the way down to the 1 foot line, their second possession. Meanwhile, the Wildcats, their first possession, marched 75 yards for a touchdown, culminated when Darius James Peterson ran it in from 2 yards out.
Flag is down near the 25-yard line.
Not sure, this penalty may be against the Timberwolves sideline, and if it is, that's a huge penalty because instead of starting at their own 1 foot line, they'll start out at about the 6. It might just be a warning to make sure the coach stays in the coaching box. Usually the officials will give the coach a warning. There's a certain period, segment of the field between the 25-yard lines where you're allowed to walk up and down the sideline, but you can't go beyond the 25, and typically the official will not give you a penalty, just a warning the first time, and I think that's what's going on. They're talking to the sideline over there. And that's a good, fair call for both teams. Marin Catholic will get the same warning. If one of their coaches wanders too far the coaching box, they'll warn them before they'll throw a penalty. So here we go from their 1 yard line. The Wildcats will start out, actually just inside their 1, out of that spread. And it's a quarterback keeper over the left side, and big yardage as he gets it all the way across the 15-yard line to about, well, I guess I'll spot it right at the 15, a nice 15-yard pickup. He just took the snap, Darius James Peterson, and ran to the left. He's fast, he's a good runner, and a good passer as well. So that'll give him breathing room now as the Wildcats move it out to the 15-yard line, first down. Jack Hogenboom split out here to the right. Along with him is Will Buckstaff. 2 men split out left out of that spread. James Peterson takes the snap, fakes, gives, keeps it up the middle he comes, and he is hit from behind, gets away from another man, gets away from another, gets some good blocking, but Brad Giacomella able to sort of take away the blockers, but Peterson another 15-yard pickup all the way out to the 30. So they're able to run the football with their quarterback here on this series. 3 men split left, 1 man splits out to the right. Peterson gives this time to Gernhardt, and he is ridden down by Zach Silva at about the 35-yard line, about a 5 or 6 yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 4. So the Wildcat offense starting to roll now. Second quarter leading 7-0, 11 to go here before halftime. Peterson helping out his running back at the backfield with a shoulder pad for a moment. That's Nick Gernhardt. Gernhardt with 3 men left and 1 man to the right here. Pass, drop that time. Jack Hogenboom a little low in defensive Hogenboom. That was not a good pass, but a catchable pass, but now it'll be 3rd down and about 3. Big play for the Timberwolves defense. Marin Catholic, most likely, if they're stopped here, would not go for it this deep in their own territory with a 7-0 lead this early in the game. 3 men left, 1 man right out of the spread. Darius James Peterson looks to his left for a moment. Now he's ready, takes a snap. They give it to Gerhardt. He runs up, gets a first down across the 40-yard line down to about the 42. Stopped by Cooper.
Stopped by Jasper Estes.
Estes also on the stop for the Timberwolves.
First down, Marin Catholic.
So Marin Catholic now running the football very effectively on this drive. Their first drive, they threw the ball very effectively to get down into the end zone before Peterson ran it in. Man comes in motion now. That's Buckstaff. And they give to the only back of the backfield. He stopped for no gain that time. 3 Timberwolves there on the stop. Sutton. Also Cavender on the stop. 2nd down and 10. In the ball game in the backfield now is Nathan Gernhardt. Hogenboom out here with Buckstaff to the right. 2 men split out to the left. Osborne split out left. Now Buckstaff goes in motion across the formation. Fake, throw, slot. Man's open on the seam patterns. Got it. got more yards before he's tackled inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Armashevitz made the catch that time. Nice little seam route. He just ran the seam route and was open, and then get extra yardage on his own all the way down to the Timberwolves 24-yard line. 34-yard pickup that time. 1st and 10. Leading 7-0, 9:54 to go second quarter. Here come the Wildcats. Back to pass with plenty of time is Peterson. His pass is knocked away. Shane Giacconi, good defense that time. Pass intended for Hogenboom.
Shane Giacconi defending.
2nd down. Sean McCough, that is, their kicker, has plenty of leg. So one thing about Marin Catholic is if they get close, they definitely have somebody that can kick a long field goal. But that's not their intention now. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 25. Peterson, fake handoff, a lot of time. Throws, man is open. He's got it. Touchdown. Wildcats. Armashevitz is open. And he makes the catch. And now it's 13-0. Second quarter, 9:39 to go. Watching across the way, I could see him working with Brett Giacomella. See if he can get him back out on the field for the Timberwolves. So, the Wildcats score again with a 99-yard drive. Culminated on a touchdown pass from Peterson to Armashevitz. And there's the extra point. And it's 14-0. First quarter, 9:39 to go. Still plenty of time in this game. The Timberwolves have shown they can move the football. They just can't land the plane. .9:39 left in the first half. Let me correct myself. $14-0. Marin Catholic on their home field. Now the Timberwolves will receive the kickoff. Deep to receive, Tyler Baker on the near side. Jonathan Tamayo on the far side. And McKeo definitely has the legs to get it into the end zone, as we've seen already. McKeo's kick, and there it is, deep. Tamayo's going to take it at about the 1 to the 5 to the 10 to the 15. Busts the tackle, gets across the 20 up to about the 25-yard line. About the 28-yard line. So a nice return from Jonathan Tamayo as he took that ball near the goal line and brought it out to about the 28-yard line. So about a 27-yard kickoff return. The Fort Bragg Timberwolves have it, 1st and 10. Now a tighter formation for the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves take over on the 28-yard line.
Sullivan counts his men, looks to the sideline. Looks like they're short one man. They got time. Baker comes out. Nice tight formation now with Strickland in the backfield. Double tight end. They give to Strickland. Over the right side he comes. Got some yards, but there's a penalty flag that comes flying in after about a 7-yard pickup. The flag from the back judge, which usually indicates a hold. And that is the call, holding against the Timberwolves.
Call is holding against Fort Bragg.
So that'll nullify a 7-yard gain, and the last thing Fort Bragg needs, trailing 14-0 deep in their own territory, at least inside their own 30, is a 10-yard penalty. Especially from the spot of infraction, which was, well, actually it was pretty close to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 1st down and 20. The ball will go back to about the 21-yard line. That was a different formation that time. Obviously, the Timberwolves felt maybe they could run the ball. They did, but penalty brought that play back. So now back to the traditional spread. Sullivan with Tamayo in the backfield with him. Back to pass, and he is sacked. And that's one of the few times Colin Martin got in that time to make the sack, that Sullivan was unable to escape the initial pressure.
Colin Martin made the tackle.
So back to the 15-yard line, setting up 2nd down and 25. Giacconi and Triplett split out here to the left. The Timberwolves digging themselves into a hole now. Trailing 14-0. 8:46 to go in the half. Out of that spread, 3 men to the left, 1 man to the right. Giacconi comes in motion across the formation. Sullivan takes a snap, getting some pressure, steps up, flip pass to Triplett, who makes the catch, eludes the first man, gets across the 30 and out of bounds, close to, about 5 yards short of the first down, but a nice pickup. About a 20-yard gain that time, and Sullivan, again, very resourceful, just flipped that ball almost underhanded to Triplett, who was open after he got away from the initial pressure. So it'll be 3rd down at about 4.
20 yards, 3rd down.
Strickland in the backfield along with Sullivan. Another big play for the Timberwolves offense. Trying to move the chains here, trailing 14-0. Giacconi and Triplett split out to the left. Trujillo, far sideline, showing blitz, and here come the Wildcats. They may have jumped off sides, or did one of the Timberwolves move? One of the Timberwolves moved, trying to adjust to that blitz, and another penalty. And again, they just can't make mistakes against a team like the Wildcats and expect to hang in there and win this game. So now instead of 3rd and 4, it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Now 3rd and 8.
Daniel Cook in the game, splits out here to the left, along with Triplett. Strickland, the lone back, with Sullivan out of the spread. Again, showing blitz. Sullivan rolls this way. He's in deep trouble, and he is sacked back at the 20-yard line. So it was only a matter of time before the Wildcats put a little pressure. Their coach, Moy, had said going into this game, the way to beat Fort Bragg is to pressure their quarterback. And this series, they do just that. A second sack. Elliott made the sack for the second time, and it'll be 4th down at their own 20-yard line.
Now 4th down.
Tyler Baker in punt formation for the Timberwolves. Hogenboom back to receive at about his own 40-yard line. No turnovers yet in this game. There's a snap. Baker's kick, a low kick. Bounces, taken by Hogenboom at the 43, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. Penalty flags go down. He's still on his feet across the 20 to the 17-yard line. Matt Hodala was hit hard at about midfield, right in the sternum, right where that play occurred. And it might have been spearing with a helmet. That's illegal in high school football, but that's what it looks like, the way he's holding his sternum, that he got speared. That might fire up the Wildcats, but that's going to bring the punt return back, I believe. And we'll see if Sternum's okay, or if Matt Hodl is okay. He's a tough kid. With him back there to see if he's okay is Michael Cavender. They're both outstanding wrestlers for the Timberwolves on the wrestling team. The coaching staff comes out. Hodl's a tough kid. He gets up. And let's see what the penalty is. They haven't, it might be, I don't know. I could have assumed it was against the Wildcats for spearing. But Hodl is still, he got on his feet, but he has not walked across the field yet. And if you have a rib injury, I tell you what, you can't breathe. It hurts too much to breathe and walk and move around. And if that's what it is, it appeared that that's what it was. And now the official is marking it off, the penalty against the Wildcats. Hodla, an integral part of the defense and offensive line, now walking by his own power across the far sideline, getting a hand from both sides of the field. So after the penalty, nullifying that fine return, the coach, for talking to the official down here, wondering probably what that penalty was. Now he gets it, personal foul. But you cannot spear a player with a helmet. That is a rule that actually finally got into the NFL rule book as well. So that's the call. And the Wildcats have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Leading 14-0. We're in the first half. 6:42 to go.
Call was illegal helmet contact.
There you have it. Illegal helmet contact was the call. Or when I played, you called that spearing. But that was a long time ago. 1st and 10, Wildcats, the ball at their own 35-yard line. Peterson with an empty backfield now. 2 men left, 2 men right. Tight end lined up on the left side. Now in motion goes Buckstaff across the formation. Looking that way, and there's the pass, and it's caught. Zach Silva's got him and drops him for little or no gain as Silva followed him across the formation on motion and made the stop. Lucas Triplett also came up to make the stop. Will Buckstaff, 5'9", 170-pound senior. Second down now on the far hash mark, 2nd and 10, and official timeout. Coach Perkins wants to know why the player's still in the game. I could hear it across here that made that personal foul, because in NCL 1 play, if you have a penalty like that, you're thrown out of the game and the next game. It goes for 2 games, and now the officials are going to go over and explain it to him. He wants to know if, in fact, that was an infraction that could be determined to be enough to throw a player out of the game. I've seen players get thrown out for less. But the official not going to change his mind, I don't think. Got his hands behind his back. Coach Perkins nods okay. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Far hash mark. Wildcats out of that spread. Leading 14-0, 6:19 to go in the first half. Buckstaff comes in the slot. Hogenboom split out to the right as Osborne split out far left. And Gernhardt in the backfield along with Peterson. Peterson
2nd and 10.
with a 2nd and 10. Man comes in motion again. That's Buckstaff. Peterson with time. Gets away from one man. Now throws. Pass is caught near the first down marker by Hogenboom. I think he got the first down. If not, he's just short. It is, in fact, a first down. That'll move the, well, let's see. Yeah, that's 1st and 10. Ball at their own 45-yard line now. Out of the shotgun. Peterson fakes to Buckstaff, keeps it himself. He's got room around the left side. He's got 2 blockers, and there he goes. He's gone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's a good runner. He ran 65 yards that time. He's quick and hard to catch. And that's his 2nd touchdown of the day. And now it's 20-0. First half, 5:44 to go. So McHugh on now for the extra point. Buckstaff to hold. There's the kick. Plenty of distance. It's good. So with 5:44 to go in the half, it's been all Marin Catholic, 21-0. The Timberwolves did get the ball to the 1-foot line, but on 2 separate occasions were stopped, and that's when this game turned around. But the defense for the Wildcats has been the hallmark of this team. Not to take anything away from their offense, but their defense has just been phenomenal this year. After their first loss to Cosumnes Oaks, their defense gave up a total of 44 points in 9 games. So you can see why they're the #1 seed, because you complement that tremendous defense with the offense they have, and boy, they're something else. So McKeel will kick it off now. Baker back there along with Tamayo on the far side. There's the kick, end over end, deep kick this time. Tamayo's going to take it at his own 2 to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. Gets across the 20, still on his feet. The Mayan Destroyer gets up across 30-yard line to the 31. First down, Timberwolves. Nice run back. That's the 2nd nice run by Jonathan Tamayo. So first down for Bragg, the ball at their own 31-yard line. They've moved the football on their first 2 series. They've hurt themselves with penalties a little bit here so far today.
From their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
Which is something you cannot do against this caliber of a team. 5:36 to go in the half. Triplett out here to the left. Along with him is Giacconi in the slot. 2 men out to the right out of the spread. Sullivan, little flea flicker, Pump fake by Sullivan. He's got 4 guys on him, and he throws it incomplete. Tristan Strickland was there. They set up a little flea flicker pass that time, but the defense was not fooled. And the blocking scheme almost was like a screen, like they almost let the lineman in, which you don't want to do on a flea flicker. 2nd down and 10 at their own 31. Again, triplet out here left. 2 men out to the right. Daniel Cook on the far side. Slotted inside of him is Tyler Baker. Strickland in the backfield with Sullivan.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Showing blitz. Here they come. Sullivan back. Little looking pattern to Triplett, who makes a catch for a short gain and then is gang tackled, and a penalty flag comes flying in. One of the Timberwolves writhing on the ground, and that might be Justin Solari, their center. They can't afford to lose him at about the 30-yard line. That penalty could be against the Wildcats. Remember, this is a Division III team that petitioned to go down to Division IV this year. That's the penalty against the Wildcats. And I didn't see it. I thought it was a personal foul, but I didn't see it. Now Coach Perkins slow to walk off the field. He's very concerned about whoever the player is down there. And like I said, if it's Justin Solari, he has snapped the football every snap for 3 years. First play of the game, the Timberwolves lost their #1 tackler and their #1 running back, Brett Giacomella, to an injury. He limped off with a knee injury. We haven't seen him return. Matt Hodala was a victim of a spear, and he left the game. I haven't seen him return, although he's got his helmet on now. He might even come out onto the field. Sullivan tries to stay loose on the far sideline for this timeout, but obviously this is a serious injury. I'm looking for Justin Solari out there standing up somewhere, and I don't see him. That's why I'm assuming it's him. I'm not sure about that. But he would be the starting center, a 3-year starter. And when you lose your center and you're running the spread offense with shotgun formation, long snapping, every play, your center is such a key. And you can see Solari, I believe it's him, pounding the turf with his right hand. He's a very determined young man and obviously in pain right now. 21-0. Wildcats lead, 5:21 to go in the half. So this game that was moving along at a good clip grinds to a halt, and let's hope this is not a serious injury. It looks as though at this point I would not expect Solari to return. In fact, they're bringing the golf cart out. Been his knee. You folks watching this later on the internet, MendocinoTV.com, can scroll with your finger and go back and see what happened. We don't have that luxury. We don't have replay here. And Triplett, who caught the pass, darted back up to the middle after he made the catch. Almost ran backwards a couple yards to try and, I think, get around Solari's block. And that's where the pileup occurred. I was watching the ball carrier, so I was unable to really focus on what happened to the down lineman, which I believe is Justin Solari. .5:21 to go here in this second quarter. It's taken on kind of a somber mood. One thing about high school sports, you hate to see a kid get hurt. I'm pretty sure that whatever the injury is, it's pretty serious. This is the second round game, Division IV. Marin Catholic, the #1 seed, had a bye. And they'll lift up the injured Timberwolf. And you know it's serious when they actually carry him into the cart to protect that leg. And it is, in fact, Justin Solari, number 62. Huge loss. The anchor of their line, a 3-year starter. And when you're trailing 21-0, this is really going to make it even more of an uphill battle for the Timberwolves today. You could see the concern from his teammates. So he gets a hand as he's wheeled off the field. Lost track of the down. It was only a short pickup on that play. I think it's going to be third down. They picked up about 5. No. Well, the down marker says second down, and I'm not going to argue that. So here we go. Far hash mark, second down and 5. The ball at the Timberwolves 35-yard line. Sullivan back to pass, steps up in the pocket, getting pressure, and down he goes. And now, the tackle that time by Carl Savona. Now the Timberwolves can't seem to get the time Sullivan's going to need. And you can bet the loss of Justin Solari is going to show up in pass protection big time. So now third down and 9. Triplet split out left. Tamayo goes into the backfield now along with Strickland. Jasper Estes checks in. The Timberwolves started with 2 backs in the backfield with Sullivan to try and give him a little more protection. It looks like they can go back to that game plan now. Strickland's back there with Tamayo. Giaconi and Triplet split out here left. And penalty flags go down. Might have been too much time, delay a game. That's the last thing the Timberwolves needed. Or was that an illegal substitution? Anyway, it's 5 yards the wrong way for the Timberwolves. And set up third down and 15 now. The ball at their own 27-yard line. So now we've got 2 men in the backfield with Sullivan. 1 man left, 1 man right. Sullivan looking for Triplet. Out here left, throws. Overthrew him that time, incomplete. Good coverage. Covered by Hunter Juarez. Fourth down, the Timberwolves will have to punt. .4:17 to go in this half. 21-0. Marin Catholic. Baker back in punt formation. Hogenboom out there as well to receive the punt for Marin Catholic. Looks like Baker will be punting from about his own 14-yard line. And now what do we got? Timeout, Marin Catholic. So with 4:17 to go in this first half, 21-0 the score. The Wildcats will take a timeout.
Many NCS championship contests live at www.nfhsnetwork.com.
So we're streaming live on this broadcast, Play On Sports.
Text friends and family who aren't here and invite them to watch.
With a 21-0 score, what we'll do at halftime is we'll pretty much plant the camera on the scoreboard. And this is high school sports. We do not have a fancy studios down in LA with some former NFL players to go over stats for a halftime show. You might say we're a shoestring outfit with some big shoes. Fourth down and 15. After the timeout, Hogenboom back to receive. Liam Kilpack along with him back there. Tyler Baker in punt formation. Gets a snap. Gets a kick away. Again, kicking it away from Hogenboom to the left sideline here. Takes a bounce. It goes out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
The 40-yard line.
Call it the 41-yard line. First down, Marin Catholic in good field position. Last time they scored a touchdown from right about here when Darius James Peterson ran 65 yards out of his quarterback position after sort of a read option play. They sent a man in motion to bring one of the defenders across the formation, fake to him, and then ran it back, sort of a counter play, and good running by Darius James Peterson. He could go. He could be a running back easily, but he's a fine quarterback. First down. Play action fake. Got a lot of time. All the time in the world. Man's wide open. He makes a catch. That's Sebastian Olver. Trujillo brings him down, but not before a first down at the Timberwolves 31-yard line. Well, the Timberwolves are going to have to figure out a way to get a pass rush going here because right now Darius James Peterson is
Gain of 28 yards, first down.
got time to order from Domino's in the backfield when he goes back to pass. First and 10 at the Timberwolves 31-yard line. Peterson gives. There's Gernhardt. Bowls his way across the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. First down again as the Saints, or the Marin Catholic offensive line doing an outstanding job here.
Gain of 13 yards,
blocking.
First down.
But they got some big guys up there, including Clayton Dembski, an all-state 6'3", 304-pounder. Play action, pass over the middle, overthrown that time over the intended receiver. He was open at about the 5-yard line.
Second and 10.
3:35 to go in the half. Clock stops. 21-0 Marin Catholic. The Timberwolves need a spark on defense. They have yet to really put much pressure on Darius James Peterson. His uniform is clean. Even the towel that he wears in front is clean. Not a good sign when you're defending a team who's leading already 21-0. There's the snap. Peterson back to pass again. All the time in the world. Throws, caught. Buckstaff makes a catch. Triplet wrestles him down at about the 7-yard line. I believe that's enough for another first down, depending on the spot. And another one of the Timberwolves very slow to get up. Clock is running. We don't have a 77 in the program. That might be.
Now first and goal.
I'm not sure if that's Colton Hopper, who came up from the JVs. Whoever he is slowly going off the field. Coaching staff comes out for a moment to see what the nature of the injury is. Well, right now there's 2 key injuries for the Timberwolves on top of the fact that they're playing the #1 seed here. So after we get back to action here, it will be in fact first and goal at about the 7-yard line. Near hash mark. Peterson takes a snap. Fake. No, he gives to Gernhardt, and he goes right in for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Marin Catholic.
So 2:53 to go. It's 28-0, or 27-0.
Number 47, Nick Gernhardt with the touchdown.
Makio on to try the extra point. Well, you figured on paper this game was a little bit of a mismatch, and it's turned out to be just that here. There's a snap, spots down, the kick is up, and it is good. So it is now 28-0, 2:53 to go in the half. And Marin Catholic showing no sign of letting up. With their 55-man roster here, they've got plenty of clean uniforms on the sideline that they might want to throw into the fray here to give them a little playoff action. We'll see if that happens. Marin Catholic has half again as many students, and they're a private school. Fort Bragg, a public school that has a far less of a student body to draw their team from, and consequently they don't have 55 guys on the roster. And with 2 key players already injured, it might become a game of attrition here. 28-0 Marin Catholic. Makio with the kickoff now. Tamayo along with Baker back to receive. Once again, this time it'll be Baker. He'll take it at his 7 to the 10 to the 15 to 20, kind of tiptoeing up. Not the way you want to return a kick, but he does get it across the 20-yard line. If you're going to return a kick, a high or end-to-end kick, you really got to get up ahead of steam as soon as you touch that football. The only time to slow down is after you've established a lane, maybe wait for a block and then take off. McGarvey made the stop for the Wildcats. So first down Timberwolves, the ball at their own 21-yard line, trailing now 28-0, 2:45 to go in the half. See if they can get something rolling. Triplett splits out to the left. Tamayo comes into the lineup now as Estes goes to the sideline. He's in the backfield along with Strickland.
1st and 10 on the 21-yard line.
Sullivan takes a snap, looking over the middle, pass for Baker's a little high, incomplete.
It's an incomplete pass intended for Tyler Baker.
Baker coming across from that right slot that time was open and passed just a little bit high. Clock stops, 2:42 to go in the half. Triplett again split out to the left. Cook out to the right. 2 men in the backfield with Sullivan. Baker comes now to line up here on the left side as tight end. There's a snap. Sullivan's got it, throws to his right, short. That was a bad snap, and Sullivan was hit as soon as he threw the football. Getting pressure that time from Sebastian Olver. Remember, the starting center for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves injured, left on a golf cart, will not return, and that is going to cause perhaps a little bit of trouble. The Timberwolves have not worked with a different center for the last 3 years. Not to make excuses, but it is a big component when you run that spread. So 3rd down and 10. Sullivan back to pass, rolling to his right, got a little time, pump fake, now he's in trouble, now he fumbles. Ball's picked up and run in, touchdown Marin Catholic. Sebastian Over ran it in. And Kaylor Sullivan with no time to throw now here in this second quarter, and it's now 34-0. .228 left here in the half, and Marin Catholic has scored 2 quick touchdowns. So here's Sean McKeough for the extra point. Snaps down, spot, up, good. 35-0. Marin Catholic with the lead. So Fort Bragg definitely in a tough situation. Trailing 35-0. I think at this point they'd like to just get a little respect and put some points on the board, but that's not going to be easy to do against this #1 seed and a defense that has given up less than 5 points a game after the first game of the season.
NCS would like to thank UCSF
So Sean McKeough will kick it off again.
Official sports medicine provider.
Tamayo back to receive along with Tyler Baker.
Student athletes. UCSF Benioff,
McKeough's leg is getting a workout. He's had several kickoffs. He's had 6 kickoffs. He's had 7 extra points. So he's teed it up 13 times already, and we're not even to halftime. There's a low line drive kick this time. Tamayo takes it, drops it, picks it up at the 15 to the 20, and is hit and dropped at the 20-yard line by Kenneth Fitzgerald Evans.
Returned by number 6, Jonathan Tamayo.
Ball across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Almost seems like Marin Catholic gets pleasure when they injure a player. They're all fired up down there. Tamayo did get back up and get out of the playing field to the sideline, but boy, he was hit hard. So the Timberwolves will try it again. First down at their own 23-yard line. Tamayo is actually in the game in the backfield. Sullivan looking pass caught by Cook. And Cook then dropped the ball. He caught it for a moment and dropped it. Zach Margulis made the stop. Margulis with the
Pass is
coverage,
ruled incomplete.
along with Nick Gernhardt. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. For Bragg with Cook split out to the right now. Triplet out here with Giacconi to the left. Baker slotted inside of him on the right side, inside of Cook. Only Jonathan Tamayo in the backfield along with Sullivan. And Tamayo missed the play. That was supposed to be a handoff, and Tamayo ran off to the left. And Sullivan left with the ball, and the Timbers are completely falling apart now. That ball came loose after the tackle, but about a 3 or 4 yard loss down to under 2 minutes to go in the half. And this is one game where I think the Timberwolves are going to be happy when it gets to be halftime. Timeout called by Marin Catholic. 20, or make that 35-0.
For more information about the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Hospital Oakland and their free lecture series, visit www.childrenshospitaloakland.org.
Moreau Catholic awaits the winner of this game, and from all indications, it appears it's going to be Marin Catholic. And when you're leading 35-0 and it's not even halftime, if I'm coaching Marin Catholic, I want to make sure my quarterback, Darius James Peterson, doesn't get hurt. And I want to make sure that any of my skilled receivers don't get hurt. Because at this point, it looks highly doubtful that the Timberwolves are going to make a comeback. You never know. You don't throw in the white towel just yet. But 3rd down and 14 after the timeout for the Timberwolves. They have it at the 21-yard line. Strickland in the backfield along with Sullivan. 2 men left, 2 men right. Your typical spread formation this time. Sullivan back to pass. Steps up. Hit for a moment. Pump fake. Runs. He's going to get short of the 1st down, gets across the 31-yard line, though. Nice pickup that time, but it'll be 4th down. 1:44 to go. Not sure why the clock stopped. Shouldn't have. It did for a moment. Now they get it running. 4th down. Baker back to punt. But the Wildcats are going to get one more possession here in this first half. Jack Hogenboom back to receive. Baker's kick, a high kick, a nice kick. Over to the right sideline, takes a Fort Bragg bounce. Hogenboom picks it up at about the 17-yard line. Goes right up the middle, and he is hit and dropped. Tristan Cooper along with Ty Sutton made the stop at about the 34-yard line. And with 1:08 to go in the half, leading 35-0. Marin Catholic gathers around their coach, Moyed, that is, to figure out what they want to do.
And rebroadcasts on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and throughout the week on Comcast Sportsnet California. Coming soon to the NCS website, video highlight clips provided by Cal High Sports Bay Area.
So here we go, 1st and 10, the ball at their 34-yard line. Hogenboom splits out to the right. 2 men slotted inside of him, 2 men left. Empty backfield for Peterson this time. He looks over the defense, takes a snap. Again, all the time in the world, throws, man's wide open. Buckstaff makes the catch across the midfield stripe to the Timberwolves 45-yard line. And Peterson just, you can't give any quarterback that much time to throw. And give credit to the offensive line, again anchored by All-State guard Clayton Dembski, 304 pounds, 6'3". You might hear that name in the future in college or maybe beyond. So this time right about midfield, Peterson will take the snap. 44 seconds to go in the half. Peterson back, throws, left sideline. Trujillo looking for the ball, and it's caught by Reese Osborne at about the 15-yard line. Trujillo on defense that time, looked back to the inside, and Osborne caught it over his outside shoulder. A nice catch. It looked like his
complete to number 9, Reese Osborne.
Shoe came off, something. He's coming across the field with something. Has to come out for a moment. It was. His shoe came off that. So with 31 seconds to go, Marin Catholic just moving it right downfield, knocking on the door again. Down to the Timberwolves 15-yard line. Peterson out of that spread, empty backfield again. 3 men right, 2 men left. Watch that right sideline. He's looking over the middle now. He's got time, and finally he goes down. Ty Sutton with the first sack, or Tristan Cooper, that is. First sack of the game for Peterson. 20 seconds to go, 19 seconds to go. They're trying to get a playoff here. They got to get in formation. And he just stops the clock with 9 seconds to go. The clock had 9 seconds. It ran down to 4. I think the officials are going to tell him to put some more time on the clock. So clearly the Wildcats are going to go for the end zone here. If I'm defending, I got to stand back. And the safeties at about the 5-yard line. Triplets back there right now at about the 5. And also you got to watch out for Peterson, the quarterback who scored 2 touchdowns runs, one of them 65 yards. Their last touchdown came by their defense. Here it is. This should be the last play. Peterson back, getting a little pressure, throws. Man's open, knocked away by Brad Giacomella. Almost intercepted, and the clock actually stops with 1 second to go. So now you're going to see the field goal kicker. Wait, is there a flag down there? There's something below the center of the official's feet. It looks like it might be a flag, but I'm not sure. There is a flag down. With 1 second to go in the half, a 35-point lead. It's going to be a holding call, apparently, against the Wildcats. So now to try a 46-yard field goal, here's Sean McHugh. And I wouldn't put it past him to knock it through. He's got a big leg. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line, or about there, so about a 47-yard field goal with a second to go. There's a snap, spot, kick. And it's way off to the left. So if there's one play that didn't work too well for Marin Catholic in the first half, it was that one. That's the end of the first half. The score, Marin Catholic 35, Fort Bragg nothing. I'm Lindy Peters. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to take a little break at halftime, and we'll come back with the second half with the Wildcats leading 35-0. Thanks for watching, and thanks for joining us, and don't tune out just yet. We got 24 minutes of football coming up here in the second half. But again, our halftime score, it's been all Marin Catholic. The Wildcats 35, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves nothing. And to make this possible for our community to enjoy on MendocinoTV.com, we want to thank some local sponsors that are community-minded that made this possible to bring you this event here. Peoria Insurance, Canclini TV and Appliance, Jenny's Giant Burger, The Woods, Ranelagh Heating and Sheet Metal, The Homestyle Cafe, Sherwood Oaks, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, Roundman's Smokehouse and Butcher Shop, Columbia's Market, Fort Bragg Furniture Mart, Purity Supermarket, Kaido Fisheries, Fort Bragg Transmission, Dunlap Roofing, and Bob Bruce Dentistry. Thanks to these sponsors, we're able to bring you this game on MendocinoTV.com.
Next week, watch this game on MendocinoTV.com with Lindy Peters doing play-by-play.
All right, we're getting ready for the second half with the Marin Catholic Wildcats leading by a score of 35-0. The weather has changed a little bit. There's kind of a cloud cover now.
And the wind, which is blowing right to
Listen up,
left
sports
across the
fans.
field,
Stop by your local sports
has
authority where
actually
you'll find everything you need for your favorite
picked up a
sports.
little bit, not
Sports
much. It's
Authority
not
is
going to be a
proud
factor
be the
most
official
likely, but
sporting
if
goods
you're kicking
retailer
into the wind or
of the
punting
North
into the
Coast
wind,
section,
left to
CIF.
right across your
Sports Authority,
television or
all
computer
things
screen,
sporting
then it
goods.
might cause a little bit of a problem. But it's been all Marin Catholic. This actually was a pretty well-played game early in the first quarter. The Timberwolves were moving the chains, getting first downs. They got the ball down to about the 20-yard line at one point of Marin Catholic, but couldn't go any further. And at the end of the first quarter, they had it all the way down to the 1-foot line. And on two different plays, were unable to get it in. And once that happened, the game seemed to turn. The Wildcats took it 99 yards, running basically with their quarterback, Darius James Peterson, who culminated that drive with a 65-yard touchdown run. They've also scored on defense as Sebastian Olver scored on a fumble recovery. And Fort Bragg will have to kick it off to begin the second half. Christian Flores to kick it off for the first time, as Fort Bragg has failed to score thus far. Also, the first play of the game, Brett Giacomella, the leading tackler and big running back for the Timberwolves, was injured and has not returned. Their center also was injured and not returned. There's an onside kick to begin the second half. The ball's loose, still loose, but covered up by Marin Catholic at their own 39-yard line. Justin Solari, the fine three-year starter at center, all-league, a great center, has not missed a snap in 3 years, suffered a serious injury, and he was carted out on a golf cart. So those were two very big injuries that the Timberwolves could not afford going against this number one high-powered team in this Division 4. NCS CIF football playoff action. The starters are still in for Marin Catholic here. At quarterback, Darius James Peterson out of that spread. One back with him. Fake, throw, left sideline. Trujillo had it hit him. Good coverage that time, perfect coverage. Osborne, the intended receiver, Trujillo covered him so well that ball actually hit him in the back before he could turn around and look for the football. They completed a pass similar to that early in the first half when Peterson threw it to that back shoulder, and Osborne was able to turn around and make the catch, but Trujillo with good coverage that time. So no gain, 2nd and 10 on the incompletion. Just underway, third quarter, 35-0 Marin Catholic. Out of the spread, 2 men right, 1 man left. Fake, Peterson keeps it himself, gets a good block, tries to get outside. Nice tackle that time. Coming up was Brad Giacomella to make the stop. Jasper Estes also in on the stop, only about a 2-yard pickup, 3rd down and 8. So the Timberwolves not faked out that time by the talented quarterback for the Wildcats. Peterson, who also scored the first touchdown of the game. He's got 2 TDs on the ground already. So 3rd down and 8 at the 41-yard line. 2 men left, 1 man to the right. Tight end, strong right side. Peterson looking to his left. Got a lot of time again. Throw, man's open, makes a catch. That's Buckstaff. Up the left sideline it goes before he's hit out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. First down. The big reason Marin Catholic is passing game has done so well today is the time that Darius James Peterson's had to throw the football. He's had a lot of time. And to his credit, when a receiver's open, he finds him and he puts that ball right in there. As he is such a double threat to run as well that it's difficult to defend. 1st and 10, the ball at the Timberwolves 42-yard line, just underway second half. Out of the spread, 1 man in the backfield with Peterson. Play action throw over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Sebastian Olver. Olver had that ball thrown just a little bit behind him that time. He was open. Olver 6'4", 244 pounds. A big target out there. This time, top of your screen, Jack Hogenboom splits out left, 2 men to the right. Tight end Olver strong on the right side. Peterson on 2nd and 10. Takes a snap, rolling to his right. It's the read option. Fakes the pitch and runs right up the middle. Still going, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Marin Catholic.
Touchdown, Marin Catholic.
Another long run, a 42-yarder, and Peterson scores for the third time. And he gets in the open field. He's just tough to bring down. Great run that time. So now it's 41-0. And we're just over a minute in this third quarter. Marin Catholic takes the kickoff, and they march 61 yards for the touchdown, culminated by that 41-yard touchdown dash from Darius James Peterson. Here's the extra point. McKeogh's kick is up and good, and that makes it 42-0.
The kick is good. The score now 42.
I'd like to see this Consumnes Oaks team. They're a league champion out of Sacramento Valley that defeated Marin Catholic the first game of the year, 20-0. But again, the first game of the year, you're still oftentimes trying to put things together, both offensively and defensively. But that's been the only loss for Marin Catholic this year. By the way, in a different section, the Consumnes Oaks football team is also in the playoffs, but they're in a different section than the North Coast section. So McKeogh will kick it off. Tamayo's back there with Tyler Baker to receive. 42-0 Marin Catholic. There's the kick. Deep, end over end. Tamayo will take it. And it's through his hands and into the end zone. Touchback. Timberwolves will take over at their own 20-yard line, trailing by 6 touchdowns. 42-0. So we'll see what they talked about at halftime.
Milk is proud to be the official recovery drink of the North Coast Section CIF. True Moo, made with real milk and no high fructose corn syrup. So put your game face on. Get ready to flex those.
Michael Cavader's taken over at center for Justin Solari, the all-league center for the Timberwolves, who was injured in that first half. 2 men in the backfield along with Sullivan. Sullivan hit his first 7 passes in the first quarter. And in fact, Fort Bragg was hanging in there early on in this game. Not anymore. Cook and Triplett split out to the right. Sullivan looks to his right, throws, incomplete. It looked like Sullivan thought that Triplett was going to continue up the sideline. Instead, he ran a little in pattern that time. The ball was overthrown so badly that it almost looked like they were on 2 different pages on the playbook. So 2nd and 10 at their own 20. Usually, the Timberwolves rely a lot on Triplett on big plays, but he's been well covered here so far today. 2 men split out left, 2 men right. Tamayo in the backfield with Sullivan. Tamayo, fake handoff. Sullivan still has it, and he is sacked by 4 different players that time. Looked like Peter Brown was the first guy to get there.
Loss of yards on the play.
Also in on the stop for the Wildcats was Max Kelly. And it'll be 3rd down and 15 now.
Max Kelly, Carl Savona, the tackle.
Savona also in there for the Wildcats. Cook splits out to the right. Triplett coming out here left. He's been well covered by Hunter Juarez. Safety rotating this way to Triplett's side. That's Zach Margolis. Giacconi goes in motion. Sullivan back to pass. Throws it up the sideline for Strickland. Strickland was covered that time by Mark Rosner. He's the leading interceptor for the Wildcats, and Sullivan was hit just as soon as he threw the football that time. Good pressure from Carl Savona. So it'll be 4th down. The Timberwolves will have to punt. Hogenboom near midfield. Baker will be punting from
down, Tyler Baker
pretty close to his own end zone. $42-0 Marin Catholic. There's the snap. Gets the punt away. It's a high kick to the right. Takes a Fort Bragg bounce across midfield. A good kick. What little wind I mentioned has picked up this second half, and it goes all the way down to the 34-yard line.
At Les Schwab, we take pride in doing the right thing in our community.
So about a
That's why we are the
45-yard
title
punt that
sponsor of
time from
CIF
Tyler Baker.
North Coast Section Championships.
And this
It
high-powered
allows us the opportunity to
Wildcat
support our
offense will
great
take
young
over with the
people
ball
in the communities
at their
we
own
serve.
34-yard
Les
line,
Schwab
1st and
Tires
10.
And the CIF, dedicated to supporting today's
9:40 to
youth
go
to help
in this
better
third
tomorrow.
quarter. 42-0 Marin Catholic with the lead.
Marin Catholic to start
Darius
from
James
the
Peterson, the senior
34-yard
quarterback,
line.
5'11", 180 pounds, and very fast. After that, he's had over 100 yards in 2 runs, a 65-yard touchdown run and a 41-yard touchdown run. He's back there. He takes the snap. Pump fake to the right. Instead gives to the lone back in the backfield who's got some wide open running room. That's another flag goes in. That was
And
Nathan Gernhardt.
Flag on the play.
That flag came in late, kind of a shoestring tackle.
Call is holding against Marin Catholic.
Marin Catholic gets called for a hold, so that play will come back. But again, it's 10 yards from the spot of infraction, so it'll be back to about the original line of scrimmage and set up first down and about 12, I think. Depends where they spot it. They bring it back to the 33-yard line, so call it first down and 11. Again, nifty play action in the backfield from Peterson, who faked the pump fake pass and then gave it to Gernhardt. This time he kicks a snap. They're setting up a screen play as they let the rush in, and that's wide open. Hogaboom's got it, and he's got blockers in front of him, a host of blockers. Hogaboom cuts back at the 35 to the 40, cuts back again. He's going all the way in, and no, he's dropped just short of the goal line, but a penalty flag at about the 32-yard line. You knew that was a screen when you saw immediately that 4 white jerseys were chasing the quarterback. That hasn't happened all night, or all day, so you were pretty sure that they were letting him in on purpose. In fact, they were, setting up Jack Hogenboom to pick up that wide receiver screen pass, but it's still a big gain. About a 30-yard pickup, call it 28 yards, down to the 42-yard line, or 37-yard line, that is, of Fort Bragg.
Penalty yardage assessed against Marin Catholic.
9:07 to go third quarter. 42-0. The Wildcats with the lead. They've got the football.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line.
First down at the Fort Bragg 37-yard line. Peterson looks over out of the snow huddle for the play. With him in the backfield now is Nathan Gernhardt. Hogenboom splits out to the right, 3 men to the left. There's a pump fake, handoff to Hogenboom again, and up the middle he comes. And Hodala, who's back in the game after he was hurt, makes the stop, but not before Gernhardt picks up about 8 yards. Setting up 2nd down and 2 at the Timberwolves 29-yard line. Clock runs, 8:22 to go, third quarter. It's been all number 1 seed Marin Catholic so far here today. Peterson out of the spread. Gives again to Gernhardt, left side, and he gets first down. Hodala brought him down. Sutton in there to help finish him off. Not before he got a first down at the Timberwolves 21-yard line.
Stopped by
Cooper also there on the stop for the
8
Timberwolves.
yards. First down.
So Marin Catholic once again into the red zone at about the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. Leading 42-0. Substitution now for the Wildcats. Charlie Hunt comes into the game. Out of that spread again, Gernhardt in the backfield with Peterson. Fake, gives to Gernhardt, left side, cuts back, and a flag comes flying in again. Right at the end of that play at about the 20-yard line.
Up by Hodala. Flag on the play.
Penalty. Looks like it's going to be against Marin Catholic again, a block in the back. I'll say this, the Wildcats are a very aggressive team. Their defense has been an outstanding defense all year long, and their offense is just as aggressive. I mean, they go after you. When they start blocking, look out. Don't be reeling backwards. You got to stay low, or you're going to go back on your heels. So it'll be first down and about 22 yards to go after the penalty. Peterson on the far hash mark, takes the snap, back to pass, all the time in the world, throwing deep, got a man there, he's got it, touchdown. That was Jack Hogenboom, who got open in the corner. He ran the flag route. So a 15-yard penalty, no problem for the Wildcats. And it's now 48-0 in the third quarter. And again, without a pass rush, the Timberwolves really are desperate trying to stop the passing game from these Wildcats. Got to give credit to the Marin Catholic offensive line. They're big, they're huge, and they know how to block. So once again, Sean McKeough on for the extra point. McKeough, and his extra point is good. His last name is spelled M-C-K-E-O-G-H. Sometimes that's McKeough, sometimes it's McHugh, sometimes it's Macchio. So I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances with his name. He's been featured so much. That's his 7th extra point. And this will be his 8th kickoff as he gets ready to kick it off 49-0. 7:20 to go, third quarter. I'm pretty sure the mercy rule applies in the playoffs as well, so that when you hit the fourth quarter and a team's ahead by 40 points, they have a running clock, although I can't substantiate that, but I'm pretty sure. Similar to other Bay Area sports venues, the Seagulls are starting to circle around here at Marin Catholic High School. It's getting a bit overcast now and cooling down a bit.
KOFY TV 20, Cable 13. And we broadcast on Tuesdays at
So McKeough will kick it off, and once again Baker and Tamayo back to receive. And I think at this point, the Timberwolves, with a couple of key injuries and trailing by 7 touchdowns, probably just want to get out of here without any more injuries. Maybe put some points on the board. Tamayo takes the ball at his own 3, up to the 10, to the 15, cuts back at the 20, and the ball's loose. It's knocked away, still loose, and the Timberwolves recover the fumble. I think that might have been Daniel Solano who got the fumble. I didn't see, but Baker getting up slow, walking back towards the huddle. Of course, they don't huddle up, but walking back towards the offensive formation very slowly, favoring his right leg. Triplet out left. First down, Timberwolves, the ball at their own 28-yard line. Shane Giacconi slotted inside a triplet out here. Sullivan looks, there's a pass to Triplet. Triplet makes a catch and only picks up a couple of yards.
Triplet. Stopped by African.
African made the stop for the Wildcats.
Gained him 2 on the play.
Second down and 8. Sullivan is going to probably have to throw some pretty quick passes now because the pass rush has been very substantial from these Wildcats in the second half. He sends Triplet out to the right now. One-man Daniel Cook out here left. Gets a snap, looks to his right, quick pass, caught, Triplet, cuts inside. Giacconi tries to get a block, but right there quickly is Carl Savona that is, and no gain on the play, third down and 8. Wildcats think they've recovered a fumble. Tom Jacobson also in on the stop, a junior, 5'9", 180-pounder, so it's going to be no gain. Third down and 8, the ball right at the 30-yard line. 6 minutes to go, third quarter, 49-0 Marin Catholic. This is Giacconi splitting out to the left. Baker slotted in the right, Daniel Cook out to the right, and a timeout called by the Timberwolves. Well, it's almost been like 2 different days here. The second half, sort of a high cloud cover, but it certainly cooled things down a bit. And the coats and sweatshirts come out here for the second half.
Max Preps is the official statistician and digital media partner of the North Coast.
We're in the third quarter, 5:49 to go.
Max Preps is also a proud sponsor and official photographer of the CIF. View and purchase high-quality photos from today's event by visiting www.maxpreps.com. Visit maxpreps.com now on your mobile phone for access to scores, rosters, schedules, leaderboards, and more. maxpreps.com.
It's been an outstanding year for both these teams, but one of them is going to go home and their season is going to end. And from all appearances, it's the purple and white, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, who are 11-0 coming in. But it's going to be rough now. Sullivan steps up, throws, and nobody there. Again, there must have been a cross-up on the route that time, setting up fourth down. And the Timberwolves will punt it away. Well, you haven't seen that too often this year where there's been sort of a mix-up on patterns. I'm not sure. I think the Timberwolves
Now fourth down.
have been throttled here,
To Hogaboom.
and I think they've just been thrown off their game by this tough Marin Catholic defense. So Baker will punt it away, kicks it to the left sideline over here, bounces, Hogaboom lets it drop, picks it up to 34, going up the right sideline,
Hogaboom on the return.
and then just steps out of bounds
inside the
at about the
50-yard line.
47, 48-yard line where the Wildcats have it first down.
And you will hear the calling.
That's a 48-yard line
The
where it'll be
title,
first
United
10.
States Marine. If you think you have what it takes, visit Marines.com.
5:32 to
for
go,
more
third
information.
quarter, 49-0.
Proud, the Marines.
It looks like the Wildcats are pretty much sticking with their first string offense out there. Moreau Catholic really had a big win against, I think they played Justin Siena. Anyway, whoever wins this game, and all indications are it's going to be the Wildcats. Well, now I think we do have a different quarterback in there now. I'll get his number in a moment. And he gives to
Nathan
Gernhardt. Gernhardt picks up good yardage. That's Spencer Petrus now at quarterback. And you would figure that that would be a good call when you're ahead late in the second half and you've got a big game coming up in the next round. So the Saints, I'm sorry,
Gain of 7 on the play.
the Wildcats have its first down and 10. The ball at the Timberwolves 41-yard line. Nick Gernhardt with a good carry on first down. But some
First and
different
10.
personnel in there now. Hayden Well-Beloved, you got to like his name. Split out left, Trujillo on him. Petrus takes a snap, gives again, and a stop
Hand
made
off
this
to
time.
Gernhardt.
I think that was Colton Hopper out there. Again, we don't have a 77 of the program, but they did bring up the junior varsity player, and he made the stop. 4:52 to go, third quarter, 49-0.
Gain of 2 yards on the play.
And one of the players for the Wildcats is being helped off. That's Nathan Gernhardt, the ball carrier, favoring his leg, helped off the field by his staff over there. So second down and 7. Petrus gives, right up the middle goes the runner, but a flag comes in and stops the play. That's usually going to be a procedure call, and it
Anthony
is.
Marino, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Anthony Marino now at running
False
back,
start
a
again,
sophomore,
Marin
5'8", 160-pounder. .419 to go and the clock running here in this third quarter. Some clean jerseys in there for the Wildcats. Peter Brown in the slot. That's Hayden Well-Beloved out here to the right. 2 men left out of the spread. Petrus with one back, and man goes in motion. Petrus went to hand it off, and nobody was there.
Spencer Petrus, the ball carrier.
And he is stopped for no gain, setting up third down. Well, obviously Anthony Marino had a different play in mind. The running back who wasn't there to take the handoff.
Tackle was by Sutton.
So it'll be 3rd down and
No gain
13
on the play.
for the Wildcats.
3rd down.
They're taking plenty of time on the clock here before the next play, and that's a good idea, leading 49-0. Petra snap with Marino in the backfield with him out of the spread. Takes the snap, rolling to his right, getting a little pressure, throws, pass is incomplete.
This pass falls incomplete.
Obviously the second string, not as good offensive line as the first string, as you might figure, and that time a pass rush on Petrus forced him to get rid of that ball a little early. So it'll be 4th down, and they're going to go for it. 4th down and 13. Ball at the 43-yard line of the Timberwolves, and now we got a timeout called by the Timberwolves. So with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go, third quarter, trailing 49-0. Timberwolves call a timeout.
Championship Series events, results, and next round pairings can be found at the NCS website.
The Fort Bragg Timberwolves have played a lot of bigger schools over the years, but no one quite the football powerhouse that Marin Catholic has been traditionally. This has been the biggest game really for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves football team, perhaps in their history. I know back in the old days, someone might call me on this, way back in the 30s and 40s, maybe they went and played bigger teams. But recently, in the last 30 years, most of the time they're playing schools that are pretty close to their size. Not today. Today, the Marin Catholic Wildcats are not only a bigger school in terms of student body, but have a well-storied program. Now they decide they're going to punt, although Timberwolves maybe aren't buying it. They don't have anybody back to receive this punt. This will be the first punt for Marin Catholic of the game. And there it is. It's a high kick towards the left side and takes a bounce and is downed out there by Reese Osborne. And the Timberwolves will have it 1st and 10 inside the 20 at their own 17-yard line.
Teamwork, it's crucial to success in any business activity or sport. At Les Schwab,
so depending on how much time is left in the game and what sort of personnel are out on the field, the Timberwolves don't care who's wearing the silver and white uniform out there. They just want to get some points on the board, trailing 49-0 with less than 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Far hash mark, Sullivan will have it, the ball at his own 17-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line.
Triplet split out here left. Hunter Juarez still guarding him. The old hitch and go might work out here with this far sideline. Instead, they throw it inside to Triplet, knocked away by Juarez.
Intended for Triplet, Hunter Juarez defending.
So that'll stop the clock. 2:51 to go. So Giacconi in the slot now out here to the left, brings the safety over. Triplet was by himself for a moment, but the safety comes over now. Over the middle, same pattern. Triplet makes a catch up across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, setting up 3rd down and about 2 or 3.
McGarvey made the tackle, gain of 8 yards on the play.
Timberwolves, the clock running, 2:24 to go, third quarter. Another big 3rd down play if they want to try and sustain a drive and get some points on the board. They give it to Tamayo, and the Mayan Destroyer goes right up the middle and gets a 1st down across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. 1st down Timberwolves. Down to about 2 minutes
Tamayo,
now.
the ball carrier, gain of 6 yards.
here in this third quarter with the score 49-0. The Timberwolves sent in Jasper Estes, Daniel Cook in the game. Tristan Strickland comes in with Tamayo on the backfield. They better get something going here quickly now. Triplett splitting out here to the left. Two men to the right. Sullivan. And there's too much time. So after they get the first down, a delay of game will be at 5 yards back.
Delay of game.
So it'll be first down and 15. The ball moved back to about the 27-yard line. Tamayo in the backfield along with Strickland now. Sullivan looking up the left sideline for Triplett, and good coverage that time.
Pass intended for Lucas Triplett.
As Hunter Juarez had good coverage, Triplett actually looked more like the defender on that one. So it'll be second down and 15. Clock stopping with 1:33 to go, third quarter. 48-9. Marin Catholic, after a pretty close first quarter, has been dominating this game ever since.
Second and
Sullivan
15.
looks over the defense for a moment. Strickland in the backfield with him. Pressure, screen pass to Strickland. He makes the catch at about the 30. Gets up past the original line of scrimmage, setting up third down about 9, about a 6-yard pickup.
Tackled by Rubens. Gain of 6 on the play.
So third down and 9 yards to go for the Timberwolves. Down to a minute to go in this third quarter. Again, taking a little time to get the play in now. Giacconi slotted out here left. Two men split out to the right. Triplett outside here. Strickland the lone back. Sullivan looking. Pressure. Throws. Incomplete. And good pressure again by the Wildcats, setting up fourth down and 9. 45 seconds to go. Timberwolves look like they're going to punt it away. The only turnover in this game was a fumble recovery inside the 10-yard line that was returned into the end zone by Sebastian Alver. Other than that, both teams have not, there have been no interceptions despite all the passing. Baker gets the punt away. Over to the right side, Hogan Boom back. Lets it bounce a couple of times and takes a nice Timberwolf bounce to about the 22-yard line.
Baker's punt down across the 20-yard line.
So another 40-yard plus punt from Tyler Baker, who's kicked it pretty well here today. He's had to punt the ball quite a few times. He's had some practice. So the Wildcats will have it at their own 22-yard line. First down, 34 seconds to go in the third quarter.
To speed a child's recovery, it takes an entire organization. UCSF, Benioff, Oakland.
Many of the starters for the Wildcats now have their jerseys off, including big 6'3", 304-pound Clayton Dembski, the All-State lineman, on the sidelines now, ready to move on to the next round. So it'll be first and 10 Wildcats on the far hash mark as the Timberwolf defense. We'll see if they can stop the second stringers. Spencer Petrus takes a snap and gives to Marino, but a penalty flag, and again, I think a motion call. That's it, a legal procedure.
False start, the call against Marin Catholic.
So first down at 15. You could tell that this unit doesn't get a lot of reps. They've been certainly not as crisp as the first string offense for the Wildcats. Petrus takes the snap, gives it to Marino. Right side he comes, cuts back over the middle. He's got some good yards. Jasper Estes finally brings him down, but not before he picks up about 10 yards, up to about the 27, 28-yard line. Call it the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4. About a 11-yard pickup that time. That's going to end the third quarter. They're not going to get a playoff. 6-5, 4 seconds to go. 49-0 the score here at Marin Catholic High School. So there's 12 minutes of football left. I think it's pretty clear who the better team was here today. It was close early on. In the first half of the first quarter, Fort Bragg was hanging tough. But once Marin Catholic stopped them at the 1-yard line on 4th and goal, the tide turned, the momentum went to the Wildcats, and they have not looked back. They have just stepped on the gas and haven't stopped at the gas station. 12 minutes of football left. All right, 12 minutes of football left here as the Timberwolves defense comes out, beginning this fourth quarter, trailing 49-0. And now the official is showing the keep the clock running signal to the score, the official timekeeper up here in the press box. So because it's 49-0 and because there is a 40-point lead, it'll be a running clock here in this fourth quarter.
Marin Catholic dance team.
So here we go. Petrus, 2nd down and about 3. Has a man in motion, gives to Marino, first guy through. He goes right through the arms of Hodala and then is dropped for a first down pickup out to about the 37-yard line.
Tripped up by Russell. Gain of 8 yards.
Very overcast here now to begin this fourth quarter.
1st and 10.
Out of the spread, Petrus with one back with him, that's Marino. Takes the snap, gives to Marino, right up the middle he comes, and a good hit that time.
Marino.
He's dropped by Jasper Estes. Sam Perkins also slid over there to help with the stop, but not before he picked up about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7, the ball at the 41-yard line.
Yards.
So the Wildcats, who had a bye in the first round and also had a bye towards the end of the season, hadn't played for a little while. They'd only had one game, and I think it was 3 weeks. Certainly, we're firing on cylinders here today. Marino gets the give. Around the right side he goes, and he almost breaks away before Triplett knocks him down, but not before he got across midfield to the Timberwolves' 46-yard line.
Gain of 13 yards, 1st and 10.
This is one team, it's probably, the average player might not even make the team for Marin Catholic Wildcats. Even though they got 55 on the roster, you can see they're clearly deep. All right, here we go. First down at the Timberwolves 46-yard line. Petrus back on his side of the midfield stripe with Marino in the backfield with him. They give it to Marino, and he dances his way up the middle. He's still on his feet, breaks away. Strickland tackles him from behind by the jersey at about the 20-yard line, or he was going all the way in. Marino, just a sophomore, 5'8", 160-pounder. Good carry that time.
Gain of 27 yards.
These Wildcats, when they're in the open field, especially their quarterback, Peterson, he's got deceptive speed and very good moves. He glides. It's almost hard to even get a hand on him. It'd be difficult even in flag football because they are so good in the open field with the football. And, of course, there's been some great blocking schemes here to help them as well. So you got to give credit to the offensive line. 9 minutes to go in the game now. 1st and 10 at the Timberwolves' 19-yard line. Petrus gives to Marino again. And again, he's on his feet. This time there's a fumble, and Strickland picks it up. He's still got it, and he's down, and there's the first turnover for Marin Catholic as Strickland picks up a fumble inside the 10 when the Wildcats were driving down for another score. And finally, something to cheer about for the Timberwolves fans across the way. I didn't see who caused that fumble, but Strickland able to pick it up. He should have just gone right down to his knee. How many times have you seen it where a fumble recovery, when you try and do too much with the football, you fumble it right back? But that didn't happen that time. So the Timberwolves have it first and 10. Still a 0 on the scoreboard at their own 8-yard line. Sullivan with 2 men split to the right, 2 men split to the left. Back to pass, looking to his left. Out of the backfield comes Strickland, makes the catch, gets a first down up the left sideline, and then spins out of bounds at about the 24-yard line.
Pass taken by Tristan Strickland.
Nice little swing pass out of the backfield that time. 7:46 to go in the game.
Gain of 16 yards, first and 10.
Baker out to the left. Cook out to the right. Slotted inside of him is Lucas Triplett. Strickland remains in the backfield. First down. Sullivan takes a snap, looking right, now looks back over the middle. Now his pass is caught by Triplett at about the 28-yard line, and down he goes, and then he fumbles. But they're saying he was down. Triplett tried to reach forward to get it across the 30-yard line, it looked like, and that ball came out, but they're ruling that he was down at about the 29-yard line.
Stopped by Allred. Gain of 5 on the play.
Second down and 5. The Timberwolves starting at their own 8-yard line have moved it out a couple of plays to the 29-yard line. Cook and Baker out here right. Triplett out to the left. Sullivan near hash mark. Looking towards Triplett. Throwing deep. Triplett running and incomplete.
Pass intended for Triplett.
Looks like it might be a pass interference call coming up against Tim Blatt. Blatt, the cornerback that time. Both the defender and the wide receiver, of course, remember they don't spot it at the point of infraction. They'll bring it back and mark it off from the line of scrimmage. But that ball, Triplett tried to race to the football that time, and Blatt cut him off. And contact clearly before the ball got there. You could argue maybe that Blatt has as much right to the football as Triplett, but clearly there was contact before that ball arrived. So with 6 minutes to go in the game, Fort Bragg gets a first down after the penalty at their own 44-yard line. Sullivan back, throws, pass, caught by Triplett. 2 men are there, across midfield. Over there making the stop was Ryan McGarvey. A 9-yard pickup, second down and 1. Cook out here to the right, Baker slotted inside of him. Sullivan getting pressure, steps up, gets away from the rush. Stiff arms a man, a penalty flag is down as he gets first down across the 45-yard line to the 44, but this play may be coming back. And remember, the clock won't stop for a penalty. Now they're going to pick up the flag. So it's a first down for the Timberwolves at the 43-yard line. Just trying to put a dent in the scoreboard there, trailing 49-0. Go home with something good to feel about.
Gain of 4 on the play, first and 10.
First down on the far hash mark. Sullivan looking left, throws, caught. Triplett up the left sideline and knocked out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. That was Tim Blatt who knocked him out of bounds for the Wildcats. Pick up about 5, second down and 5, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Sullivan back, looking left, looking in trouble, fumbles the ball, it's loose, it's on the ground. And the fumble is recovered by the Wildcats. So the one drive that looked like it might help folks feel a little better about this game from Fort Bragg's perspective stops with a fumble. And the Fort Bragg Timberwolves defense will be back out there again. 3:44 to go in the game. You would think leading 49-0. I know what Coach Roy Perkins would do. He'd have these kids kneel on the football every down. But I'm not sure Marin Catholic will follow that type of lead. Timberwolves getting some new players out there now, giving some players some rest. Petrus gives to Marino, right side, and Triplett mistreats him down at about the 46-yard line.
Stopped by Triplett.
A little frustration there from Triplett, I think. Good stop, down to 3 minutes to go in the game.
Gain of 9 yards.
Well, their starting offense is not out there at all at this point, so there are a couple players that have seen some action. Kenneth Fitzgerald Evans is still out there for the Wildcats. And I believe an official timeout is being called. I think Marino may have cut himself. It looks like he looked down and saw some blood, and any bleeding in a high school game or any game these days, they take it right out of the game and stop that bleeding or cover it up before you get back out there. So the clock runs, 2:44 to go in the game, 49-0.
Of the values being taught at this educational event, a competition sponsored by NCS member schools for 100 years.
Far sideline, the Timberwolves stands are still full. Their fans have stuck it out as this exciting 2015 season is going to come to an end. For the Wildcats, their season will continue, and a lot of their fans have packed it up and gone home and ready for Moreau Catholic next week.
Stopped by Macias.
Down to 2 minutes to go in the game.
1st and 10.
Wildcats still running their offense here. They're not kneeling down on the football. They clearly could do that right now, leading 49-0, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and take time off the clock, which continues to run. A minute 44, a minute 43 to go. Now they're coming up to the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're going to kneel on the ball, and that's a class act. That's what you do in these situations. 2nd down, and when you're an announcer like me, there's not much to say at this point except to recap the game. The first quarter started off, as I've mentioned here throughout our broadcast, as a pretty close first quarter, pretty tight. Kaylor Sullivan had his first 7 passes. The Timberwolves did move the football. They received the opening kickoff, but they were thwarted. They had to punt. They were able to briefly stop the Wildcats, but they went down and they eventually scored a touchdown when their quarterback, Darius James Peterson, went in from about 7-8 yards out. That was the first touchdown. And then there was just one touchdown after another. Darius James Peterson scoring 3 touchdowns, one on a 65-yard run, another on a 41-yard run, and of course that first touchdown I mentioned. On defense, Sebastian Olver returned a fumble for a touchdown. Jack Hogenboom, nice corner route touchdown catch, and really not too much to talk about for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves in terms of their offense, other than Kaylor Sullivan had a pretty good game, but unable to get any points on the board. That's going to do it. That's the last snap as the players now shake hands out there at midfield. The Fort Bragg Timberwolves will end their 2015 season with an 11-0 year coming to a close here, and they'll finish the season at 11-1. The Marin Catholic Wildcats move on. They've lost just once this year, their very first game of the season. After that, they've now won 10 straight, and they move on to take on Moreau Catholic in the next round. But it's been a great year for the Timberwolves, who, it's funny because at the beginning of the year, talking to Coach Roy Perkins of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, he was a little upset that both Marin Catholic and Cardinal Newman had petitioned the section so that they can move down from Division III to Division IV. And today, I could see why he was upset, because under the old standards of a smaller school, maybe this Fort Bragg team had a chance to go on to the section championship, but not against a team like Marin Catholic, and also Cardinal Newman lurking also in the brackets as well. it's just a little too tough when you've got programs like that to compete against, no matter who your personnel are. But the last game for senior Kaylor Sullivan, who was the leading quarterback in the state, throwing over for 4,000 yards, over 49 touchdown passes, but he couldn't get his 50th one here today. It was all Marin Catholic. Once we got midway through the first quarter, they took over the game and dominated from there on out. The final once again, Marin Catholic 49. They go on to play Moreau Catholic in the next round. Fort Bragg Timberwolves nothing. Their season is over, but it was nothing to be ashamed of. They had perhaps the best year in the history of the school, the first team to win 10 games without losing a game, and then of course winning their first playoff game against St. Helena. Remember last year, before Marin Catholic and Cardinal Newman came down to Division 4, the St. Helena Saints went all the way to the finals in this Division 4 bracket of the sections before losing, and their only loss before the final loss last year was against Fort Bragg, 37-20. So that'll do it. I'm Lindy Peters. Thanks for joining us here for MendocinoTV.com and for Play on Sports. The final once again in this second round NCS CIF Division 4 game, Marin Catholic 49, Fort Bragg nothing. Once again, we want to thank our local sponsors who made it possible to come down here and bring you this broadcast, and also for post-production costs to put this up on MendocinoTV.com, including Peoria Insurance, Canclini TV and Appliance, Jenny's Giant Burger, the Homestyle Cafe, Randall Heating and Sheet Metal, The Woods, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, Sherwood Oaks, Roundman Smokehouse, Columbia's Market, Fort Bragg Furniture Mart, Purity Supermarket, Kaido Fisheries, Fort Bragg Transmission, Dunlap Roofing, and Bob Bruce Dentistry. If you've watched this, if you know any of our businesses, or if you go in and do business with them, be sure and thank them. This was a community-sponsored event. This was a small school going up against a big school, and these were small businesses that made it possible to bring you our telecast. Thank you once again, and what a great year for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. They have nothing to be ashamed of.